Listeners of Ghana Talks Radio, it's yet another beautiful brand new day. Yes, and today is Thursday, Throwback Thursday. Tomorrow is the weekend, so indirectly the weekend has already started. You are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Right here is a news headline review. Here we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with everything in between. We got you covered with the most relevant stories. Where the relevant stories are, that is where we bring to you every story that matter. We bring it to you in your doorstep right here on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And as usual, I remain your host, Estin Namfiagbedu. And I can't do this alone. I have here with me in the studio as Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning, Miss Debbie.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to ask me how am I too.
I know you are fine.
Oh, you know I'm fine.
Yeah.
You know I'm fine. Oh, but you should have asked me.
Okay, so how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Wait.
Yeah, so yesterday it rained.
It did.
And already somewhere in Ofanko was flooded. It didn't really rain. I think it drizzled or something.
No, it didn't rain here, but it rained in some parts of Accra very heavily.
Very heavily.
Yesterday, the traffic was very crazy.
Oh.
Very, very. Because from Malam Market, even from Malam Market to Chinatown, and I say China Mall, right? Chinatown.
After Makati.
Oh,
okay.
It was very bad.
Wow.
Very, very bad. The road was very congested, and I was thinking because it drizzled here, it didn't rain. I got to and then I realized that they said it rained heavily as Kaswa, very heavy. So the road was flooded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
flooded already.
It caused, the road was flooded. So it caused a very huge traffic yesterday.
What the issue of flood in this country is serious.
Very serious.
In so particular, na baby are
flooded. Especially Tetegu. So from Chinatown through to Tetegu, Weja to Kaswa. Hey, traffic and then I me myself I was wondering because it didn't rain here. It was very cloudy, but it didn't rain. So I was like, what happened? Then I realized that they said it rained so heavily that every place got flooded. And so that is why the traffic was so tensed yesterday.
Wow. I see that.
Maybe this area will be Saturday.
Oh, not on Saturday. We beg. Okay, so let's dive straight into our news headlines for today. Ghana's education system outmoded and needs an overhaul. Dennis Miracles Abuaje, Director of Communications for Baumia 2024 campaign, has described Ghana's current education system as outdated and restrictive, stating that both its content and structure are long overdue for reform. Mr. Abuaje expressed serious concern about the continued reliance on antiquated educational models, which he argued no longer meet the needs of today's generation. His comments coincide with the ongoing 2025 Basic Education Certificate examination, which has over 600,000 candidates participating nationwide. He questioned several long-standing practices, including the pressure placed on students through intense education examination schedules. Mr. Abuaje pointed to the requirements for candidates to write multiple papers in a day, in a single day. Wow, as an example of a deeply flawed system. This year, a total of 6,328 students are actually writing for the paper. And Abuaje's remarks have reignited debate over the structure and purpose of Ghana's basic education system. He criticized the country's resistance to educational reform, suggesting it hinders meaningful progress. Drawing comparison with international standards, he highlighted disparity between students studying under the Ghana Education Service curriculum and those following international frameworks like Cambridge. He argued that the key difference lie in the content and delivery, not economic status. And that is coming from Mr. Abuaje. What do you make of it? What is your whole thought or your whole take on our education system right here in Ghana?
I think our education system needs a lot of reform. Just as they said they want to reset the country. I mean, we need to reset the education sector again. And Miracle Abuaje, he's kind of funny. Is he now realizing this? I saw that yesterday and I was laughing. Because your government was in, I'm not trying to politicize this, but then your government was in power for 8 years. And it was like that. Me, my time, I wrote BECZ 2 papers a day. For a week. Yes, 2 papers a day.
Yeah, 2 papers a day.
You write 2 papers a day. English and I think social studies on Monday.
But is that not you burden the students?
Yes, it is. It's like you burden the student, but it has been like that since. And when your government scale, like you saw it to be normal, and now you are seeing it to be a problem, and you are calling for a reform in the education sector. For that is a problem because when you look at the WASI, we write, I mean, you can, a week, in the space of a week, before you write one paper, maybe you write your first paper on Monday, and then you have your second paper on Friday. So you have a lot of, days to go through your books. But with BEC, it's not like that. It's 1 week. So you are being forced, to study, like just to pack yourself. And with that, you have to study ahead. Because if you want to wait, we are writing 2 papers a day and you don't have time. So I think that has to be looked into. And aside that too, our education is basically about theory. It's basically about chew and pour. And yesterday I saw some top officials who are learned in education calling for teaching or impacting the students more on the skills rather than the theory aspect. And it's very true. You go to school and all you learn is chew and pour, only the theory. And as you were saying yesterday, there are schools where they do not even have this basic equipment to aid in teaching and learning. And so what do you expect a teacher to do? Even if the teacher should Google computer on his phone, how are you going to use it? You can only show it to them and tell them, this is how a computer looks like. This is how a mouse looks like. This is how a monitor looks like. But there is no way they can experience, just like I have my laptop in front of me. There is no way they can have that feel. This is it. If you want to open a folder, you go to start. you press on an empty space, you press on new, and then you have your folder there. No, it's not like that. And you know, sometimes you get to the university before you get to know more about the computer. It is at the university you get to know that computer class here and yet denser. But at the basic level, it's so difficult because there is no equipment to aid in easy learning. And so all this thing needs to be looked into. It is not only when the students are going to write BEC or WASI, that is when we know that, oh, the education system needs a lot of change, it needs a lot of reform. This should have been done beforehand. We should have even make sure that everything is in its rightful place before they even go to sit in. And that is why I don't blame those in rural areas. Because looking at their performance and comparing to those in the urban areas, you will see a vast difference. Because a child at the age of 5 years, he has a tablet, children's tablet. He knows how to manipulate it. At the age of 10, he can even manipulate a whole computer. So before this child gets to even JHS or SHS, he knows a lot about it. And so you, the teacher teaching, is like you brushing through what he has already learned. So they grab it very easily. But when you go to the rural areas, they struggle. And as I said, sometimes you get to the university before you get to know more about the computer. Because with that, you have to have a laptop. Your project work is to be done on the laptop. Most of these teachers want to have lectures with you through Zoom. And sometimes your phone may become a challenge. So you have to use the laptop. So you have to buy it. And that is when they get to know more. Oh, okay, so this is how it was supposed to be done. And I thought it was that difficult. You see, so we have to I feel like we should focus more on the basic side and do away with the tertiary side, because we are paying much attention to the senior high school, which I know it's very important. But let's focus on the basic. The basic is the foundation, and when the foundation is weak, automatically the whole building is in a mess because it will collapse at any time. But when the foundation is strong, trust me, even a wind cannot, shake it down. So we should focus more, and we should ensure that it's not only about talk. That is what I hate about our leaders. We talk a lot, speak big English. The cocoa seller in the village does not understand what you are saying. Trainers here. So it's not about you speaking about big English. We want to do this. We want to go to the grounds and ensure that they have all the needed equipment that will ease in
them in learning.
Yeah.
So Mr. Boaje says the education system is outdated. Mr. Boaje says the way students are taught, the contents of subjects, and even the school environment are all old-fashioned and not suitable for modern times. He believes the current system restricts creativity and limits students' potential. Ms. Eugenia? Yeah. So this is coming from Mr. Boaje. He says the educational system is outdated. It needs an overhaul, a proper restructure. Yeah, so I want to hear your take on that.
Okay. So the little I can say, our educational system needs it's outdated. In a way, I would agree with him, because we are in a digital world, as the past administration was preaching about all the time. And Dennis Miracle Abuaje, to my best of knowledge, he's the communications officer for Baumia. And I can't remember, during their time, he sat on national television to say that Ghana is being transformed. And with what he just said, someone attached it to his past statements. But this is not an issue of we politicizing it. But it sometimes seems as if when their power is in, or their government is in power, they find it very difficult to speak up. But when another government is in power, then they are all loud and clear and all that, pointing out criticism and all that. Fine, it's good. But with our education sector, yes, we all know that it's outdated, and they need to how do I put it, modernize it. We are in an era where almost everyone deals with ICT, almost everyone deals with
technology.
Exactly, technology and all that. And to my best of knowledge, for the curriculum, I learned they are now using a new curriculum. They are now using a new curriculum that we put aside. But to other sectors of the education, they need to really look into it. Up to now, some people do not even know how to use the computer. Some people do not even know certain things they need to know. But we say we are in a digital world. So with what he's saying, for that, I do agree with him, and they need to look into it.
Okay, so he's urging for a complete reform of Ghana's education system, arguing that it's stuck in the past and not preparing students for the future. He wants less exams pressure, because here lies the case, even when you're writing BC, you write 2 subjects a day. How do you even study, how do you prepare properly for those papers? So in a way, I think I agree with him. He wants less exams pressure, modern content, better teaching methods, and an environment that supports learning, not just memorization and testing. Even before that, when you're going to write BC, the number of mocks you write alone, who the throw BC, who the throw BC cry is better.
But that is not bad. It's just like you solving past questions ahead of the exam. So most of most of these exams, like, it helps you, it gets you prepared. It shows you how the questions will be on that D-Day. And most of the time, most of these questions we answer, we see them in the main exam you are going to write. So for that, there is nothing wrong with that. For me, I don't see anything wrong with you writing mock before going to write BC. It's just a way of preparing you for the raw business you are going to indulge into. So there is nothing bad in that.
All right, moving on to our next story. Ablekuma North order rerun of outstanding police stations. Madam Valeria to EC. Presidential Advisor for Governmental Affairs, Dr. Valeria Esther, has called on Electoral Commission Chairperson Jane Mensah, demanding a rerun of elections at 62 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency. Her statement, cited by City News on Wednesday, delivered in a scanty public commentary, challenges the credibility and fairness of the coalition process, which she claims was marred by irregularities and unlawful decision. Titled The Saga of the Scanned Pink Sheets in Ablekuma North, Madam Valeria decried what she described as diabolic drama planning out at the Electoral Commission, accusing officials of undermining electoral integrity by relying on scanned pink sheets for the ruling of the New Patriotic Party in the absence of original carbonated forms. The dispute stems from violent incidents at the Ablekuma North Coalition Center during the December 7 to 8, 2024 election, which led to the destruction of original carbonated pink sheets. According to Madam Valeria, only 219 out of 281 polling stations were properly collated using carbonated forms. The remaining 62 were left without validated results. She detailed a shift in the EC's position, stating that while EC Director of Elections, Dr. Benjamin Boy, initially rejected the use of scanned pink sheets, this decision was later outturned by EC Director of Training, Dr. Quay, a move Madam Valeria questioned as lacking legal basis. So that is it. So Madam Valeria is a political advisor and is calling on the Electoral Commission to redo or rerun the elections in 62 polling stations in the Ablekuma North constituency. So during the December 2024 elections, there was a violence at the Coalition Center that led to the destruction of the original voting results. So because of this, 62 out of 281 polling stations did not have their results properly validated. The EC later used scanned pink sheets provided by the ruling NPP to replace the missing forms. So Dr. Esther believes that this is unfair and illegal and says the EC's decision have been inconsistent, initially rejecting the scan sheets than accepting them later. Yeah, so this is coming from Madam Valeria. You know, the Ablekuma North constituency, they still don't have an MP, and this is as a result of this, and she wants them to go for a rerun to redo the whole election again. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think rerun is the best thing to do as of now to solve this whole situation?
In a way, yes, because two parties involved, and Party A is saying that the result that was first collated was wrong because there were manipulation, and Party B is also saying same thing. So I feel like to allow fairness reign, there should be rerun. The election should be rerun again. But as it stands now, what is preventing the EC from doing so? Because it's getting to almost we are in the 5th or 6th month.
Yeah, 6th.
We are in the 6th month, and up to now,
that's half a year.
Do not have a representative, and it looks as if everyone is quiet. But it's very bad, because when it happens like that, mind you, the development of that particular constituency is delaying.
Yeah.
And we may feel we are doing politics, but we are rather punishing the people of Ablekuma because they are innocent. They did their best by going to vote. So as an EC, you should have also done your best by protecting those votes and ensuring that, because that is why you are an EC. Your work is supposed to be transparent. It's supposed to be fair. And I know you've put in place measures. And I know as an EC, it's not a one sole body. It's a whole lot of people. EC does not do it alone. She has her subordinates. And their subordinates also have people under them. And together, they ensure that there is cooperation and then there is fairness in the votes that has been casted. And up to now, we don't even know the sole problem behind this whole issue. And no one is trying to be like, I can't feature or figure out the main problem. Because today, when you listen to this person, they are saying a different thing. Tomorrow, when you listen to another person, they are also bringing up a different issue. So who are we trusting? Who are we believing? Who are we actually listening to? So I feel by now, the EC should rerun this election and then declare the winner. Even if you do your part and the two parties do not want to understand, that's their own problem. You've done your part. But here lies the case. Yentishe. Since this incident, I haven't heard the EC coming out to say anything about this Ablekuma issue. And you see, there is confusion at Ablekuma as it stands now.
Yeah.
Because two people representing two different parties are thanking the people for voting for them.
Exactly.
Whilst the EC has not yet declared the winner. So this is a confusion already going on. So if the best way to go about it is for the people to go back and vote again, then they should do it. And yes, sir, as then we are in 2026 and still they have no representative. And to the people that has been allegedly taking money to be rigging this whole process and stuffs, you should think about yourself and your future. You are doing that maybe because of the 100 CDs they will give you. But you've forgotten that, one, maybe you don't have good roads. Two, there are basic amenities that needs to be provided to the constituency. And because of your behavior, or because of that 1 CD you get, you go to rig the election, you will suffer for it. So with what the woman is saying, it is in the right direction.
All right. Miss Eugenia, do you think they should redo the whole election again? Because it looks like,
I can't remember. We sat here and gave the EC what to do in regards to this. And I remember specifically we saying that the best thing for her to do is to make sure that they rerun this election. Because that is the best thing to do. If, even as students, when you're writing an exam and at the end of the day, you fail, what is the best thing for you to do? The best thing for you to do is to reset. And that is the best thing. So I don't know. I don't know if aside Jane Mensah, there's any advisory body in the Electoral Commission, because it looks like these people, first of all, are slacking behind. Secondly, they are portraying signs of being incompetent, and also they are not serious with their job. Let me put it that way. Because since December 7th till now, the 12th of June, up till now, and as she said, everyone is saying thank you. And I wouldn't be surprised if very soon they also go on a thank you tour at Ablekuma. Because you can't tell me that there's an issue with the results, and the best thing for you to do is to rerun it. Fine. If what is it called? If there would be chaos, or if the people of Ablekuma are known for violence, what is the best thing for you to do? I remember IGP saying that he is ready to deploy enough security to the area. So the best thing for Jane Mensah to do is to just say, oh, on this scheduled date, there would be a rerun of elections. Come and vote again for your people. And I believe at the end of the day, we would have a fair result. And also, it should be transparent. And very fair. It should be open to the public. It should be open to everyone who wants to see to it, or make sure that the result is collated very well. I wouldn't be surprised if this issue is being politicized, or at the end of the day we hear that someone is being paid to make sure that what is going on now. But the best solution to end any chaos, to end any unfair treatment in regards to these two representatives, is to just rerun the elections again. It's not difficult. You already have the ballot boxes. We have enough security. We already have the sheets. The thumb is already there. Yes, the thumb is already there. You just go there. You just
But I think maybe if it could be resources or something, they can
resources of what?
Because they have to pay these personnel who are going to.
Now you not pay them. I have to pay them, and I feel that this shouldn't even be a problem. This should even be the least of their worries as it stands now.
Why?
Because money is not a problem. Yes, the EC needs to foot all that bill, because you were given the chance to do something perfectly. In as much as humans are not perfect, but you've been doing this for how many years now? And you are trying to tell me that you are not good at your job up till now. So if the government footed the bill for the first one, the EC needs to do this for the second time. I believe she has the money to do it, because besides, she is rich. So she can do it.
And you know, the minority actually submitted a petition to the police, is it the police headquarters, telling Mr. Yohonu to do something about the delay of the declaration of the.
This is not the duty of the
IGP. In a way, he has a role to play, to make sure that there is peace and order in that community.
There is peace and order in that community, and the main person involved is not putting any efforts to make sure that that peace is being restored. Fine, I'm a security personnel. I can go there. What am I going to do? The main issue they are looking for is for you to give the results. Give us a representative in parliament. Is it a free year or is it a Rabana? Which of them? The IGP is not an EC. He's not the one who needs to, in as much as he's a man who needs to restore peace. But that is not the root cause of the issue. You can't just go and restore peace. It's like Asante Hinu going to this Boku people to restore peace without uprooting the root cause of it. It doesn't make sense. So now the best person to do this is the EC, Jane Mensah. Make sure you do what is supposed to be done. So she's trying to tell us that after sleeping on her pillow for how many months now, she has not got any tangible or reasonable solution for this. Now the only solution is to rerun the elections. Do it. So
or better still, if they still have the pink sheet to validate it, why not? They can still go ahead.
So
but
it means
Then I also think that these two political parties should not interfere, because
they should let the EC work independently.
They should let the EC work independently. I feel like the EC is being intruded by some of these politicians, and it's making the work so difficult. So they should just lay off and allow her do her work. Because if I'm doing my work and you're trying to pressure me with other stuff, it means like you're not coming, you'll bring it out, but it's not going to be like quality enough. So this political part, you see, this same political party will come and tell they'll be doing your work, but at the back door, they're also giving you, influencing you to work in their favor, which is not supposed to be so. So to avoid all this, I think the day they'll rerun those elections, even if it's supposed to be a room, the door should be a transparent door. Everybody's outside and then you are watching what is going on.
And watching what is
so
going
that
on.
It will be fair. No, be a and fine.
Yeah, so Madam Valeria is suggesting that to solve this whole Buhara with Ablekuma North constituency, they should go for a rerun. Yes, and I've spoken to my panelists. In their own words, they also say rerun is the best solution for that. What do you think as well? All right, moving on to our last news story. 24-hour economy. Tema Takoradi Port to operate round the clock soon. And this is coming from President John Dramani Mahama. The government is set to declare Tema and Takoradi Ports as 24-hour operational hubs, following the official rollout of the National 24-Hour Economy Initiative on July 1st, 2025. President John Dramani Mahama has announced this during his address at the ongoing Ghana Horticulture Expo, highlighting the pivotal role of logistics and exports in Ghana's economic transformation. In his words, he says, "We are also implementing a game-changing strategy, which is the 24-hour economy, to unlock Ghana's production potential across all sectors," the president said. He also said, "I am pleased to announce that from July 1st, that the 24-hour economy policy will be ready to go into operation." So, according to President John Dramani Mahama, the policy aims to boost productivity and revenue generation by promoting continuous economic activity, particularly in sectors like agribusiness and export. He noted that the initiative will significantly benefit the horticulture industry by enhancing the speed and efficiency of moving perishable goods such as pineapple, vegetables, and herbs from farm to international markets. He further disclosed that the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Agribusiness and the Ministry of Transport are collaborating with key agencies such as the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, and the Ghana Shippers Council to operationalize 24-hour service at Tema and Takoradi Port. That is it. That is coming from President John Dramani Mahama. And this is set to happen officially. It's going to be in operation from 1st July. Aren't you excited about that, Miss Debbie?
Well, I'm excited because in a way it's going to help us as a country as well. I only say that we cannot do it alone. I mean, the country can do more with collaboration with other stakeholders from other countries as well. And you see, the good aspect is that collaborating with these people also, it's exposed the country, and it also gives out opportunity to the people, I guess. Because when you collaborate with these people, I mean, if there is something that, or if there is an opportunity or chances in their countries or something, I mean, they get you notified, and then your people also have a share of it. So with this, I feel like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So this will involve Tema and Takoradi ports, and they are set to work round the clock to speed up trade and exports. And government agencies like the Ghana Revenue Authority and Ports and Harbours Authority are working together to make this possible. In a way, this is going to create jobs
for the youth as well.
Yeah.
And then we know that when it has to do with Tema port, like,
it's very busy.
It's very big and it's very busy as well.
It's very busy.
And that is the only port I would say we import and export through.
Yes.
So working 24 hours a day is going to increase the workload of that particular institute, and then as well, employing more hands. And with that, I think it's a way of reducing unemployment in the country.
And he also stated that it will help boost Ghana's productivity, especially in sectors like agribusiness and exports. So perishable goods like pineapples, vegetables can move quickly to international markets. So in a way, this is going to also increase our exports. Miss Eugenia.
1st July.
Yes, 1st July.
That's nice. Finally, I remember when the minority in parliament was saying, "Oh, you people were talking about what is it called? 24-hour economy, 24-hour economy. Where is it? Where is it? You people failed us. You people has done promise then fail." So I should I say no, not now, but I wish to see their faces on the 1st of July or when it is being operationalized. I want to see their faces, and I pray that the same people who were complaining would come out again to complain, or would come out to either criticize or applaud the government. So with that being said, the 24-hour economy is key to the growth of our economy because it would curb unemployment, and also the youth will be engaged, and I believe that in a way it will stop this social crimes. What? It will stop those social crimes and all that, because they say the devil finds work for the idle hand. Yes. Imagine I'm not working, I'm just sitting there. Definitely a whole lot of bad thoughts will come in mind. So that was just by the way. But the 24-hour economy, honestly, it would really help our economy, because looking at the Western world, they operate round the clock. Especially when you go on TikTok, Japan for example, sometimes Japan is living in 2030 already, because the kind of
they plan ahead. They plan ahead.
But Ghana, so as I was saying, the Western world is already operating around the clock. Even when you go on TikTok, for example, and you see someone living outside Ghana and they want to go out and get something to eat. As at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., the shops are still working.
They are working.
Imagine Ghana, you are hungry. The last time you said you were hungry, as at what? 12 a.m. Yes. You had to chew and cut a burger.
Oh,
just imagine. Sorry. Just imagine. Just imagine. There were shops around that are operating. You just go buy your food, come back and eat. But we Ghana and get a bed show. By the time at the bed, now what kind silly, you already know the amount it is. So it is good. It is good. 24-hour economy there, it is good. Yeah. And this place today should start operating 24 hours. So it's you go in the morning, at 12 you close, then in the evening you come back again.
You come back again.
Oh no, me.
If 24-hour economy, then we need more hands.
Yeah, we need more hands. So this policy is expected to create more jobs, increase exports, and strengthen the economy by ensuring that goods and services can move and operate without time restriction.
And also with the 24-hour economy, they should make sure that enough security is being given to these people. Because the bad people, the bad seeds in the good ones who take advantage of this opportunity to be doing bad and all that. So they need to make sure that enough security is being given out.
I wanted to even say that because with what you are saying that like 12 o'clock in the Western world, they are still selling. Their security
is very tight.
It's very tight. Yeah, very, very.
9 o'clock as a momo vendor,
it's even dangerous.
Now the momo vendors close as early as 5.
Draw money to do something, and these robbers, the more the world is evolving, they are also evolving.
Exactly.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on the news headline review. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Good morning and welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear, or favor. Now, for the past week, there have been a call to the government to heed to their cause that has to do with a good working condition, especially the nurses. And within the course of the week, the Teachers Association has also been out calling on the government to heed to their cause. And just this morning, the Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana is also calling on the government to urgently pay the 50% allowance on the basic salaries of all frontline health workers, an amount that has remained in arrears for the past 9 months. In a closed-door meeting with Dr. Smith Graham, the Chief Executive Officer of the Fair Wages and Salary Commission, the association stressed that the need for swift action to ease growing tensions among mortuary workers across the country. During the engagement, the Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana also reminded the government of its promise to grant financial clearance for the recruitment of 500 new mortuary workers to ease the current burden on the workforce. So these are the mortuary workers of Ghana also calling on the government to pay them a 50% of an arrears the government owed them. Now you see, it looks, funny, and it looks like it's a trend, but this is not a trend. It's quite unfortunate that we see this happening. And I wouldn't like to buttress this issue with politics though. But looking at this whole issue, it didn't start in a day. I don't think it started within a twinkle of an eye. You just wake up yesterday and you feel like, no, I was not paid, so I want to strike. I think it happened way back some time ago. This mortuary workers started this complaint, I think, since the previous administration was in power. They were calling on the government that the government should pay them their arrears, and they were not being paid. And same thing to the nurses, and the same applies to the teachers in the universities as well. And you see, as it stands now, everybody is calling on the government. Government, please heed to their call. Government, please listen to them. But we have forgotten that this issue started way back. I'm not saying that the government should not heed to their calls. I'm not saying that the government should not do as they wished. And I'm quite surprised when I see officials of the previous administration making funny claims, calling on the government. You said you would do this. Why are you not doing it? And this is why they voted for you. Why are you silent? But you have forgotten that this issue started way back in your time. What did you do about it? What are the steps you took? What measures did you put in place? Have you left any money behind that will be used to pay these people? And so those funny claims to the government that they should heed to their cause, making it look as if it started just today. They wake up this morning and then they found out that they are not being paid for a couple of years or a couple of months. But you were also in power. You experienced the same thing. What did you do? Did you do anything about it? Or when you were leaving, did you say, oh, yes, these people, this institute and that institute were calling on me, and I'm supposed to answer them? Well, I couldn't give them the money, but we've left this behind. In case you come on board and there are issues, concerns that are being raised with regards to that same issue, please use this amount to pay them. Because as it stands now, the current administration, they are not doing what they want to do. Well, they are doing it, but they are not fully executing it. As it stands now, I feel like they are trying to cover the holes that was left behind by the previous administration. Yes, we are all calling on the government to pay them. And I know it's not that easy. If today the mortuary workers to say they are calling on the government, Imagine the government also come us to tell them that we didn't budget for you. And then the mortuary workers are telling us that they are not going to work. Can we breathe in this country? Because the work they are doing has to do with dead bodies. And as a dead body, you are more or less like a decay. You have no use to the country. You need to be dumped somewhere. So imagine this mortuary workers has laid down their tools and then they say they are going back home. Can we breathe in this country? We can't. To the current administration, yes, I know you didn't plan for that. I know you had no idea that things of this sort will be popping up. But this is the situation at hand. This is what you found yourself in. Please answer their calls. We know it was done. Like, it started way back in previous administration. But since the country is not for any political party and it's for the people, and that was your main promise. You said when you are coming into power, you are going to pay all this arrears that was owed to these workers. You told them in the face. And I must say that they stood on it 50% to vote for you. So now that you are in power, what are you putting in place? You are supposed to reply these people. Even if you don't have the money. I mean, negotiation would do. I know some people are saying that they've negotiated with the government over and over again and they are still not receiving anything. And it feels like the negotiation is not bringing a lasting solution to their problems. So if the negotiation is now not bringing a lasting solution to their problems, what is the next step? Because it will be very sad if tomorrow we hear another institution saying they are going on strike. Then by the time we end this year, about 15 to 20 institutions will also go on strike. And to our workers, I think you should also understand the government. To the mortuary workers, yes, I know the work you are doing is not easy. Dressing dead bodies and making sure that they are being laid down till their time is due to be buried. And these mortuary workers are also they are under the health ministry. So it's still in the health domain. Now nurses are going on strike. Mortuary workers are also going on strike. Who knows the next group of people who also come out that they are going on strike? And as it stands now, UTAG is also saying that they want to go on strike. And that it has become, we are in the era of striking systems. Each and every day we want to go on strike. I believe this is not the time to be shifting blame. Yes, we know that someone started, they didn't complete. Or they didn't even put in much effort. But there is a solution to every problem on earth. No matter how tedious that problems looks like, there is a solution to it. So the government needs to do something. Yesterday I said even if we cannot pay 100% of what they are requesting for, at least 50% will do. And I know as it stands now, our economy is nothing to write home about. And it looks like they are now rewriting the economy. Definitely you are going to face challenges. These are all parts. And these were mentioned in the manifesto. So even me, if I'm a health personnel and you are coming on board, I know that should be your first priority. But when you come and then I don't feel anything, I feel disappointed in you. I feel like you've promised and then you are refusing to fulfill your promise. So I believe there is a way out. We can actually do something about this. And our health workers, our mortuary workers, you should also consider the government as well. As I said, they are now trying to rewrite all the wrongs for the past 8 years. And I believe if we have money, we have money as it is, We can sort them out. And I've seen videos where people are calling for the government should do away with the people on strike and then go in for people, nurses or workers that have been in the house for 8 to 3 years and they are not being employed. They should employ them and they should do away with these people. You see, the government can employ them, but the question is, the problem is still there. So if the government should do away with these people and then employ new set of workers, how sure are you that they are also going to have a good working condition? Employing new people is not solving the problem. It's just like you trying to cover up. You are trying to take off, the weed instead of uprooting it from the roots. So please, to the government, you have a role to play. To the workers, you also have a role to play. Without the nurses, we are not alive. Without us, they also do not exist. Because if we don't fall sick, then what is the use of you going to school? Because we fall sick so you can practice what you learn. So we are there for each other. So please, let's be considerate in this. I know passion wouldn't feed you, but passion drove you into that sector. And to the government, you also have something to do. It's not about employing retired nurses or people who have been in the house for 8 years, but going down to the root and solving the problem from there. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that girl. The nurses have a role to play. The government also have a role to play. Miss Regina, what do we have for
it's GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, right. Your morning companion.
So today in history, Kwame Nkrumah publicly broke with the United Gold Coast Convention. Nkrumah, who had previously served as the UGCC's General Secretary, disagreed with the UGCC's approach and tactics regarding achieving independence. Following his break with the UGCC, Nkrumah established the CPP on June 12, 1949. The CPP advocated for immediate self-governance. Today is also celebrated as Nigeria Democracy Day, marking the anniversary of the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential election, where MKO Abiola was declared the winner. The annulment of the election and the subsequent denial of democratic processes led to the annulment being recognized as a significant event in the history of Nigeria's democratization process. On this day also, mass shooting at Paul's nightclub in Orlando, Florida kills 49 people. 29-year-old Omar Martin shot and killed 49 people and wounded 53 more in a mass shooting at Paul's, a gay nightclub in Florida. The shooting was the deadliest terrorist attack in the United States since the September 11th attacks and the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history until the 2017 Las Vegas shooting. Today in history also, Nelson Mandela was sentenced to life in prison for his role in the Rivonia trial, a trial that involved sabotage activities against the SA government. 7 other defendants, including Walter Sisulu, were also given life sentences. Mandela and his co-defendants had been charged with sabotage and admitted to planning acts of sabotage to undermine the South African states. The sentencing was a significant event in the struggle against apartheid in South Africa, and Mandela's incarceration became a symbol of the resistance movement. He was eventually released in 1990 after serving 27 years in prison. Today is observed as Red Rose Day. It is celebrated to pay tribute to one of the most iconic symbols of love and romance throughout history, the red rose. Incidentally, the rose is also the birth flower for June. while roses all over the nation begin to bloom. National Red Rose Day is a time for lovers, botanists, florists, and basically anyone else to get together to pay tribute to this classical flower. This day is also observed as Child Labor Day. Child Labor Day, or World Day Against Child Labor, is observed annually on this day. Internationally, labor organizations declared it an international day to raise awareness about kids' labor and the need to make efforts to prevent it. Since 2002, Child Labor Day has been an annual occurrence where countries and international organizations come together to make efforts against child labor. Apart from the spreading awareness and engineering activism, the most important thing is to find ways to eradicate child labor from the roots, as more than half of these children are being subjected to some worse forms of child labor. This day is also National Loving Day. Observed annually, it celebrates the 1967 Supreme Court decision in Lavin v. Virginia, which struck down all state laws against interracial marriage. This holiday is a day to honor the Lavin couple and their fight for equality, while also promoting visibility, education, and community for interracial relationships and families. It is a time to celebrate love and stand in solidarity with communities that intersect with interracial relationships. Love is celebrated beyond race and color. To some few, did you know that elephants never forget? Have you ever heard the phrase memory like an elephant? It turns out that elephants actually do have a better memory than most living things. Elephants actually have a larger and denser temporal loop comparatively. The temporal loop is commonly associated with memory acquisition, allowing elephants to have an incredible memory. Lastly, forests can make rain. Forests actually move so much water from the soil into the atmosphere that they end up creating rain. It's called the biotic pump theory. Plants and forests draw water from the soil before exhaling it into the atmosphere. This then impacts the balance of water and heat at Earth's surface, essentially controlling the weather and producing rain. And that's all for today on Today in History and You Don't Know, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina, for that fascinating fact. Yes, and this is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. Please stick and stay with us.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on GhanaTalks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, and I'm with the level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Martin Ding said about Kosem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say no artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya. Or you singer and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire now. Listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and yes say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no. Our Play Store and App Store. Na tune in and say this what I say baba live on Facebook, Kointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page and so now listen. Ebe your fire. One year, Konya. Wading. Jajan.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Good morning and welcome to the morning news broadcast live on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, roadmap to train 20,000 youth in poultry and livestock farming unveiled. Oforiata extradition in motion as Attorney General and the Office of the Special Prosecutor coordinate effort. Mortuary workers urge government to settle 9-month-old allowance arrears. Finance Minister reaffirms government's commitment to building a transparent and investor-friendly business environment. These and many more coming up shortly. Do stay with us. Government has unveiled a comprehensive roadmap for the national rollout of poultry and livestock development program under the Feed Ghana flagship policy. Launched in Accra on June 10th, the initiative aims to equip 20,000 young Ghanaians, mostly women, youth groups, and agri-entrepreneurs with skills and resources over the next 4 years. The first phase will reach 10,000 beneficiaries between 2025 and the end of 2026, with the overall program expected to create approximately 1.7 million direct and indirect jobs. The program is a public-private partnership involving the Presidency, Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Animal Research Institute, and Fedeco Ghana Limited, among others. The roadmap outlines a regional training structure with 2 sessions held monthly in all 16 regions, a blended approach combining digital platforms, field demonstrations, and one-on-one mentorship will be used, with training delivered in local languages for maximum impact. Speaking at the launch, Dr. Peter Boama Otokuno, Director of Presidential Initiatives and Agriculture and Agribusiness, said the sector must shift from traditional practices to innovation-driven agribusiness. Agriculture is no longer about hoes and cutlasses. It is a business that thrives on innovation, productivity, and molding technology, he stated. Dr. Otokuno added that President John Dramani Mahama is committed to rolling out transformative agricultural programs under the Feed Ghana banner, removing barriers that prevent women and youth from fully participating in the sector. The full rollout of the young poultry and livestock farmers model will engage 55,000 households to produce 1 million improved broiler breeds. Government also plans to upgrade feed mills nationwide to make animal feed more affordable and accessible. Dr. Doris Yaosei, Acting Deputy Director of Animal Research Institute, underscored Ghana's struggle to meet rising meat demand. She pointed to the government grain and legumes development project and also under Feed Ghana as a key intervention to scale up maize, rice and sorghum production for animal feed. Fedeco Ghana Limited Chief Executive Officer Chief Nathaniel Ebo praised the roadmap as a game changer for smallholder farming. He noted that the initiative aims to satisfy and empower over 1,000 youth to become skilled, business-oriented players in the poultry and livestock value chain. He further emphasized the significance of using local languages in training delivery. Moving on, the Attorney General's Department has confirmed it is working with the Office of the Special Prosecutor to facilitate the extradition of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, who is currently in the United States. Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Dr. Srim Sai, said legal processes are underway to ensure Mr. Ofori-Atta's return to Ghana and to face investigations. There must be a different extradition process which will assist us so that whenever you are found, we trigger that for you to be arrested. That is the job of the Attorney General to oversee that, Dr. Justice Rimsai said. Mr. Ofori-Atta is reported to be in the United States, awaiting cancer surgery scheduled for June 13th at the Mayo Medical Clinic. Despite his health status, the government is proceeding with effort to return him for prosecution. The former finance minister is under investigation by the Office of the Special Prosecutor for alleged corruption and procurement breaches during his tenure. In another story, the Mortuary Workers Association of Ghana is calling on the government to urgently pay the 50% allowance on the basic salary of all frontline health workers, an amount that has remained in arrears for the past 9 months. In a closed-door meeting with Dr. Smith Graham, Chief Executive Officer of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, the association stressed the need for swift action to ease growing tension among mortuary workers across the country. We are appealing to the government through the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to take immediate steps. Our members are losing patience and morale is low, said Richard Kofi Jordan, General Secretary of the Mortuary Workers Association. We cannot continue to serve under such conditions, he added. During the engagement, the Mortuary Workers Association also reminded the government of its promise to grant financial clearance for the recruitment of 500 new mortuary workers to ease the current burden on the workforce. The association further demanded the payment of allowances for washing and cleaning of uniforms, a one-time annual sum of 1,000 per worker, as well as the provision of adequate personal protective equipment. They also retreated their call for the COVID-19 risk allowance, which was pledged by former President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo but remains unpaid. Dr. Smith Graham acknowledged the concerns raised and assured the association of its commitment to addressing the issues. We take these grievances seriously, he said. We will liaise with the relevant ministries to ensure these matters are resolved promptly. In business, Finance Minister Dr. Kaiser Lato-Forsen has held discussions with the leadership of MTN Ghana on ways to enhance the country's business environment and promote sustainable development. The MTN delegation, led by the Chief Executive Officer Stephen Blairwitt, included Chief Finance Officer Kofi and Chief Corporate Services and Sustainability Officer Adjoa Fiye Waifi. During the meeting, the parties explored opportunities to strengthen collaboration between government and the private sector, improve the ease of doing businesses, and to support inclusive economic growth. Dr. Forsen reaffirmed government's commitment to building a stable, transparent, and investor-friendly climate that enables private enterprise to thrive. The engagement forms part of ongoing efforts to deepen dialogue with key industry players to drive Ghana's long-term development agenda. Still on business news, the Association of Ghana Industries has expressed concern over the persistently high cost of production, citing it as a major obstacle to reducing the prices of goods and services, despite the recent appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi. Speaking before the Parliamentary Select Committee on Trade, Industry and Tourism, the National Treasurer Raphael Ayite explained that the cost of raw materials remains elevated, making it difficult for businesses to pass on the benefits of a stronger cedi to consumers. Unless we can lower the cost of production, it will be impossible to sustain the gains made with the currency's recent appreciation, he stated. This is a critical moment, and we must not lose the opportunity. The factors that previously weakened the cedi may simply be dormant and could resurface at any time. Drawing on his experience in the hospitality industry, Ayite highlighted the sector's reliance on imported goods, noting that approximately 75% of inputs are sourced from abroad. For example, consider basic items like towels and liners. Where is Japan Textile? I know the minister is working hard on this, but we need to accelerate efforts to revive existing local industries and support potential new entrants. Speed of the essence, he added. Mr. Ayite emphasized that whilst a sustained appreciation of the cedi could eventually ease prices, significant action is required to tackle production costs if Ghanaians are to feel any real relief in the marketplace. To sports, the Ghana Football Association will hold its 31st Ordinary Congress on Tuesday, August 12, 2025 at the Ghana Man Center of Excellence in Pram Pram. This yearly meeting is usually held before the start of every new football season. According to the Ghana Football Association's rules, members must be informed of the date and the venue at least 10 days before the meeting. A formal choice known as the Convocation of Congress will be sent to members at least 7 days ahead of the event. That notice will include the meeting agenda, financial statement, audit report, and other key documents. The decision to hold a Congress on August 12 was made by the Ghana Football Association Executive Council. All delegates and stakeholders are encouraged to mark the date and get ready for the session. The statement read. Still on sports news, Ghanaian winger Christopher Bonsuba has expressed his gratitude to Black Stars captain Jordan Ayew for helping him adjust to the senior national team. Ba, who joined the team during the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Chad and Madagascar, didn't feature in any games initially. However, he made a lasting impression in the Unity Cup, playing his first national team game and impressing with his performance. According to the 20-year-old, Ayew's guidance played a significant role in boosting his confidence. Before our game against Chad in Accra, I went to Jordan's room to get a little advice on how I should play. He revealed, he is very friendly and a very good guy. They are very good guys because they just opened up and expressed their feeling. Bonsuba's admiration for Ayew and Thomas Partey was evident. He says, I think Thomas Partey and Jordan Ayew because I really wanted to see them. Even in training, I was just staring at them and I was like, wow, it's a dream come true for me to play with them, he said. The former Shooting Stars player has been making waves in his career, impressing with Genk in the Belgian Top Flight League last season, scoring 3 goals and assisting 4 times. One of the highlights of his fledgling football career was in 2023 when he was spotted on the prestigious Golden Boy long list, putting him among the best young talent in Europe. Following his standout performance in the Unity Cup, Ba received praise from Black Stars head coach Otu Addo. With the World Cup qualifiers resuming in September, Bonsuba hopes to make the squad and continue to shine alongside his idols, Ayew and Partey. The Black Stars will face Chad and Mali in the upcoming fixtures, and Bonsuba's inclusion could prove crucial for the team's success. And that's how we end it for now on the morning news broadcast. My name is Deborah Adoso. I will be back with subsequent news bulletin later in the midday news. Do have a good morning.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1. Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide. I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry Brell. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. My 20 things set about Kwasem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Or you singer and now you rapper, you think say you get bars, you go fit spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and you say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no, our Play Store and the App Store. No tune in and say this is what you see about live on Facebook, Kointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page and this now listen. About your fire, 1 year, Wading, Jajai.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Breakfast show on Ghana Talks Radio. A beautiful good morning to you wherever you are listening to us and watching us from in the studios of Ghana Talks Radio. My name is Pakwesi Omare, your regular host for this show. Yesterday something happened that I would want to touch a little bit on it before we get into the discussions today. It rained again, and there were floods again. We don't know how long we are going to continue with such disastrous menace as a country. We all knew beforehand that the rains are going to be severe this year, so at least government should have put in measures to make sure it doesn't get out of hands this year. But it seems we are back to square one. Every now and then, when it rains, we try to do something. Giddy, 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 giddy. And when the sun rises again, we stop whatever we were doing. The NADMO is trying their best, but the assembly, I think we can do much more than we think we are doing now, because this thing is a life-threatening disaster. Rain is not something that you can easily control unexpectedly like that. So those who have the means, the government who have the machinery to put in place measures to curtail this menace, please, we are begging you. We can't always come and cry and nansua for be ebako nansua yirima obi. No. 21st century, as a country, young koye nim free sa nieme hu. Yesra aban pa omo what to me no move to me the aye hu baby no. They should do something about it for us. We beg you. Essie, good morning.
Good morning.
How was the paper review today?
It was good.
Was there anything catchy in there for you today? I listened.
Yeah.
What was it?
So we actually dealt with 3 topics. One was on the 24-hour economy, which will be operationalized for the TEMA and then the Takrady ports. And then Madam Valeria, Dr. Is it Madam or some people are very critical when it comes to their titles. So let me put it this way.
It's Dr. Valeria.
Dr. Valeria, who is advocating that the Ablekuma North constituency, they go for a rerun. Yeah. And the first one has to do with our educational system, which needs a proper reorg.
Okay. When in regards to education, do you listen to what Mahama said yesterday? President Mahama, before my neck is
yesterday.
Yeah. He mentioned that they are bringing PTA back. Fully operational. I saw that in the headlines,
but I didn't read the content.
During your time in school, you cry you are Gen Z. But did you have PTA then?
Yeah, there were PTA meetings.
PTA meetings,
yes.
Where parents partook in decision making of the child. And how was it then compared to now that there is no PTA or parents' involvement in decision making?
I feel as if there should be a stakeholder engagement. And the parents are actually stakeholders. Anybody who is affected by the operation of the school automatically is a stakeholder. So we, the students, are also stakeholders. The teachers are also stakeholders. So when you're taking a decision, it should be a collective body. It shouldn't be necessarily that you leave just the student to, just the school authorities to make the decision. It should be a collaboration. If maybe one buys into it, if majority buys into it, and if minority doesn't buy into it, what can the school institution do to sort that out and make sure that you come to a mutually beneficial agreement which is going to benefit both parties? So previously the PTA was good because with that it was actually an opportunity for students to also hear from, for parents to also hear from the teachers how your ward was doing in school. For my mom, whenever she comes for PTA meeting, she goes to my sister's book. Yes. So it was very good. The PTA then time was very good. Unlike now that the students are just left alone, the parents don't even get to know what their wards are actually doing in school or what the school is all about. Some parents don't even know the words of the school their wards are even going to. I'm serious.
Like they don't know.
They don't know.
Like they haven't been there, or they don't know.
I said they don't know. Okay, maybe they haven't been there. Let's put it like that way. Because for me, my dad didn't like going for PTA meeting. So I was like, Daddy, today there you go. Today there you go. You go. So you go there, like, this is where you go. Like, yes, you know the name of the school, but you don't know the location of the school. This is it.
But you see, previously it was just even when we said parents were involved, it was the parents and the teachers who would come and argue at the end of the day. Sometimes they don't even get to
make a decision.
Then they go. Now that they are bringing it back, do you think there is something that should be added to it, or there is something that should be taken out of it?
Which is the PTA?
Yes, the PTA.
So formally, if I remember, it was just a meeting where they discuss the school fees payments, admission, extracurricular, has to do with sports and games, what they want their award. So I think they should maintain it how it used to be. Yeah, in my opinion.
Debbie, did you, in your time, were you part of the students who had PTAs?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
A lot. Especially when you write exam. My school is the type that they like to post your results outside for everybody.
They will paste it on the notice board.
On the notice board. And then they'll first invite your parents to come. That means your dad, you go and check. your result there. No, what to me, and even if your parent do not understand, I mean, the English, the teachers will go them to hey, this is how like they are being recorded. So on your mark here, just say he has passed. When you get this mark, so in my school, PTA meeting was very regular.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing because it is through the PTA meeting the parents get to know some of the challenges of the wards, some of the issues that needs to be addressed in the school. It is through the PTA meeting that the teachers also get to know some of the concern of their parents concerning the school. Maybe I'm a ban or bafia or complaining to say maybe the decks are not good, the destiny are not good as a school. Can we do something about it? And even if we, the parents, can actually contribute something, and sometimes the PTA meeting, they contribute money. If we can contribute something, then with the help of the school, we will help it, then it's good. But one thing I want them to add to the PTA meeting should be a representative from the government.
Okay.
You know, most of the time, it's often the parents and the school head teacher. You don't even see a GES there.
Okay.
And then it ends there. So sometimes if the parents are making a very serious concern, if they're making a very serious concern that is with regards to the growth of the school or the development of the school, and then some of these head teachers do not make the complaint, and we have head teachers association as well. But sometimes when these parents make concern, and it has to do with the head teacher, maybe it's not doing anything, something right, they don't send the information to the top. So for me, one thing that they should include is that as we have the head teachers, we have the parents, we should also have someone representing the government at the PTA meeting. Even if it has to do with the education director, someone representing the education director in your constituency at that PTA meeting is also good. Because there are certain concerns that needs to reach the government, not only to the head teacher. They are also supposed to know about this. And these are the ways they can know that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Should we get you water or alcohol?
Hey, alcohol. Then I need beverages. These are the ways they can know that these are some of the challenges the schools are going through. And as I said, some of these head teachers, they are the problem themselves. Into omuti asem kren do baby a ye PTA meeting bi ye aka ho. But then when we have a representative that is representing the government or the director, I mean immediately from there it goes to them, and then if there is something they are supposed to do about it, they do about it. For the PTA meeting there,
Yeah, it was good, and I think it's high time they bring it back.
They bring it back. I was also thinking, just a school of thought, that we should also have SHS. What is the students' representative body? They don't have SRC.
They have.
SHS has SRC.
Hey, no, they don't have. They don't have SRC, but they have a president.
A school president.
Yes.
Okay.
They don't have SRC, but then they have. It is in the senior high school. You have the SP, the GP, and the chaplain.
Yeah.
So that's their.
I think in SHS too there was PTA.
There was PTA. No, he's asking whether they have a board like SRC in the university.
For the students.
For the students.
Yeah, just as like tertiary, we have the SRC committee.
We do, but they don't have a name for it.
In SHS.
The SP
No,
and
like
GP.
every school have a school prefect and all that. But do we really have an entity like the SRC committee?
No, I don't think in SHS there's anything like that.
I didn't experience one.
So I think that going forward, that's something they can add to it. They should get a representative for the students to be part of the meeting.
But I think when it's PTA, the students are also there.
The students are there, but he's saying that just as the way we have SRC, if something, they talk one-on-one to the students before it gets
on behalf of the students.
Yeah. About PTA, you used to attend.
PTA as
no,
a
students
student.
are not part. It's just the teachers and the
PTA.
parents.
Sometimes for my school, they let we sit with our parents. Then after some time, we leave our parents. That is if whatever they have to say like involve us. So we sit by our parents. Then after some time, they'll be like the students should go.
And then the rest is for the rest. Then when you get home, you ask your dad, what are they?
What
Because
did
you
they
want to
see?
know.
Yeah, so curious.
Yeah, so I think that's something that will actually help, so that the students can also have, because sometimes they have things to see, but then who is going to speak for them? So the parents and the teachers just put heads together to decide for the people who are actually affected by that decision, which I don't think is very fair. We should give them the fair platform to express. Maybe there are decisions that teachers think, oh, we are taking this on the behalf of the kids, but maybe even to the kids it won't be beneficial to them. So maybe they should get a student committee who can represent the students in the PTA. But I think that will actually help. Yeah. We thank God that they are bringing it back, because lately most of the challenges we are seeing on campus, I think it's all as a result of this PTA withdrawal.
Oh, okay.
I think so. For a student to have a gun on campus.
But why did they take it off?
Is it?
Was there, like, excuse my language, but was there a reasonable reason to take it off?
I didn't hear a reasonable reason.
For
all
it,
I heard was that
they've taken it off.
Yeah. Okay. For me, what I learned was, I don't know how official it is, but it actually came from a teacher. He says that, and even now they don't lash the kids.
Oh yeah.
It's all part of the entire revolution that happened with the PTA thing, that the kids should have their freedom. So they need to learn blah blah. Campus, no? Yes. Some have not so long ago, I think a school had, I don't know if I should call it an inspection or audit, on the kids in their dormitories.
Yes.
And the weapons they found.
Yes.
Oh my God.
In their bags.
Or they had them.
Yeah.
Most of them, they use it in killing the fowls of the teachers.
Hey, really?
Oh yes.
Fowl.
Yes. So especially when you go to the boys' dormitory, they don't use the plastic bucket. They use the metal bucket.
Oh yeah.
And they have cutlasses and everything. And most of these teachers rear fowls, they rear goats. Oh. And so if you don't see them in class, that is what they do.
Should be taken,
that is what they do. Yes. So most of the time you hear the teachers complaining, my fowl is missing, but you are on campus with students.
And then probably that would be the schools in the villages.
No,
because you can't do that in Accra here.
Who told you?
It's because
they can actually do.
And me, the students, I will not do. I wasn't brought to school to come and kill fowl.
They are doing that. They are preparing food. They are at the door. You don't know what is going on. It's part of school.
Those teachers should be taken.
The teachers who read the fowl.
Yes.
Oh, why?
Like in schools. If it is agriculture and it's a course on its own, that's fine. But on a random day, then you
and they're just as the way you rear fowl in your house.
You are not getting it. It's not the teachers telling the students to kill it too.
No,
they steal it from the teachers.
From the teachers.
So how do they cook it?
Hey, so now you don't know these boys.
Oh God.
That is what they do. So they don't go to school with a plastic bucket. They go to school with metal buckets.
To cook.
Hey.
And they only dry. Me.
Well, I'm not actually that much surprised because I remember during our time, one of our housemaster, he was telling the man was worrisome, and then he used us to weed. It was almost like 2 acres or so of land for maize. A bro bebreu or the end ado or no be chakori. Now boy is far jane. Umu funi say ya and who in a bro no ba medon a brunasa. The man didn't know. A dream after preps. Ha who say uja to 2 or funi film pata 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 pata.
You are part of them.
No. My school brother.
Your school brother.
He was
a
You ate so you're an accomplice.
Honestly, I ate some, but I didn't.
So you are part of them.
You're part.
Because if you are eating something, you should be questioning how did you get it?
How did you get it? Yes.
So you knew the act.
Yes.
You were part of it.
You were part of
it.
Man,
I think the man, was he on leave or he traveled or something? So when he came back, we were at assembly where every morning we were students. Devotion. We used to call it devotion. Then we just heard the headmaster was even talking. I think the headmaster was giving the announcement or something. Then we just heard him coming. I'll kill all of you.
Oh, Christ.
So he was just ranting, came to stand by the headmaster. What's that down, Kolani? It was funny, but it was sad.
Oh.
It got to a time I felt really bad for him.
You will. Because you were part.
Oh.
He ate some.
Do you know what it takes to harvest a bro?
But
He
you know,
didn't do any part of it.
oh.
So
He used the students.
You don't know students. That's
He
the
used
only
the
way they can
students.
also pay you.
He used the students. Share that
but
man.
even that, come on, you guys.
Things are happening in senior high school.
But that man and Kasa, we had to teach him a lesson. Like,
My phone.
There are some teachers. You have to.
you know what he did? I think he bought a land nearer to the school, and we didn't even know it wasn't a school property. It was his own property, and he wanted to do this. I don't know if it was his water closet that it was linking to that hole or something. And what he was doing was, if you do something and he feels you need to be punished, he'll let you go and dig. So he will just be roaming from class to class, just looking for students who have done something wrong, just for them to be punished. He will send them there. He will give you a pickaxe. Then you do something. Even if it's just 1 feet you can dig, you dig it. So students in a day, by the time we realized, no, the young two man who ten na wa connect BBA free if you a day two man who him. Hey, now how boy is fine on agent. Which training answer. But in all, I think that they should involve the students. I think that will help. They should involve them. They are the mainly affected people from the decisions the PTA takes. So they should be part of the decision making. Yeah.
I think it's fair.
Very,
It's
very.
fair. It's fair. And that will also, it will give, it will bring a direct relationship between them, the teachers, and their parents. And once that relationship is built, you can now influence them. Right now, there's a gap. The teachers are just, a teacher feels like, well, since I say and come as a me bana me bechere ma dia me ko. Wo fa wan fa me dia ma me part me ko. At the end of the day, na akwala na ko feel. At the end of the day, akwala na ko wayward. By a time then teacher be to me fa okra te say ono anaba. No discipline. When you no kra no kire o ma so obo say ma me hwe o ma so week. These things, I think it shaped us.
Yeah, it did.
Growing up. That's why there's a huge difference between
The Gen Zs.
Yeah, so let's see how the whole process is. I think we can add more to it. If we are bringing it back, it should be revised. They should add certain things to it, and it will improve the students. At least obey school now when you be kakre if school. Yeah.
And they have to reintroduce corporal punishment.
What?
Corporal punishment.
They should introduce corporal punishment.
Yeah.
Beating, lashing
Like
them.
caning students and
Really?
to instill discipline. Yes.
And
Why?
she had the full fro.
I don't know. Me, I was lashed.
Me too, I was last.
Me too, I was last.
But at a point, I don't know.
Well, even it doesn't 100% instill discipline in students. Sometimes it creates fear, though. But
Fear.
at least
But there should be punishment.
There
That's
should
what
There
I
should
mean.
be punishment, but
punishment.
not maybe the lash.
lashing.
Oh, but aside lashing to what else?
We can look for another punishment.
You can
Suggest
you
one.
can put
For
a
me,
whole
when
tree
I was late to school, I was buying maca.
marker. Oh.
And I hated it because
Maca.
maybe I need to be reducing. My mother will not give me
Okay.
money to buy it.
That's not bad too.
I was buying maca and chalk.
But
Or
how
duster.
share sikani be ban so asika anya na.
Oh,
Obedi nse mu no atom academia o. I think something that you will sweat.
Uproot a tree.
Hey, Debbie.
Oh yeah, they've done that too.
Oh, maybe
Especially the stubborn guys. Yes.
Food and jobs.
Stubborn guys.
So they can let
you uproot a whole tree.
Plant.
Not as you said. Not as
SHS.
one. That was in SHS.
Yes.
Not like one student. As you said, the teacher comes around to find 10 students.
Okay.
So they give them a whole tree for you to uproot. So you uproot that tree, you don't go to class, and you have to uproot it. And they do.
And the students messes class.
Now that we are planting for trees and green, then we should go and uproot trees rather.
So they should let them
plant rather. I think so. We can just let them plant it.
Especially in the secondary schools. They have big lands.
They should plant it.
Oh, and the teachers are really making use of these students. They go to their farm, they weed. As you said, they plant for them.
Yeah.
And they still go to harvest when it's due.
I never weed in school.
Hey.
It was a punishment.
See my pound.
And for me, I was in a hostel.
I mean, some ding.
You weed.
I read by one. I said, okay, me and my because me so cats me need a mayor. So I was to beg a colleague.
I came to the boarding house when I was a senior.
Oh.
I was in a hostel by then.
Oh, so hostel for there, I think it's a more.
You're on your own. On your own.
They can go to town.
Anytime.
My mom was so scared. No. You go to the hostel when you're a senior and you come to the boarding house. This is our parents.
But why did you choose the hostel? Or it was just the school policy?
It wasn't the school policy per se, but when we got to the boarding house, it was full. They could have actually tried to find space for those students, but in a way, they also wanted to make money with the hostel facilities they had. So we took advantage of it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. But in the hostel is good. For the hostel, you just need to discipline yourself. Because with that, there is no discipline. There is no one coming to control you. Like 4 o'clock, they are ringing rising bell, go and bath and stuff. There is nothing like that.
It was there like that, but just
at the hostel.
Yeah, it was there like that, but just that when you are in the boarding house, it's more stricter. And then when it says lighthouse, it's lighthouse. But for the hostel, when the woman knows you are learning, so sometimes she will just come around and be monitoring if indeed why your lights are not out, if you are learning or you are doing something. And the hostel, we had the chance to have our troubles with us all the time.
Yes.
So we were eating like from our troubles like almost like every day.
But with the
boarding house, they give you days that you open your troubles.
Really?
Yes. Days.
At a boarding house?
Yes. And they have a place where they keep all the troubles.
All the troubles. And that one, they can steal your food stars. So for
really?
Yes.
Hey.
And why? When you were in school, your troubles was with you.
It was right beside my bed.
No.
Me when I was
they have a troubles room where they keep all troubles.
When they keep all, so if you all back and they've already broke into your troubles. And I said, "Will be a gina so na." Hey.
Wow.
Yes.
Me, I didn't. During our time, Obia box is your bedroom. We see the upper way.
And even that one, if you're not lucky, they can even poison
still,
you.
Yes.
Yes. They poisoned someone in my school. In the boarding house. I'm going to be substance lead go in sugar.
Oh.
Yes. They poisoned her.
So
it was a slow poison thing.
So she died. Hey.
She died.
Hey, that's serious.
Yeah. So when it came like that, at a point they made us keep our troubles with us.
Wow. Hey, people are
serious.
There's still provisions. So today I said that even your uniform. So
yes.
For the uniform this side, you write your name.
Even
and sometimes when you dry your things, you just have to find time and sit somewhere. Because we're banning. Oh yeah, there was still.
What I remember we used to do. We had this group of people. I don't know if they were psychologically unstable or what, I don't know. Like they come to school with Maggi salt and then they will exchange it with purple sugar. So yeah, I'm telling you.
We have this Maggi salt that looks like sugar.
See,
very whitish
in a pack, so you will never know. They will come, they will pour your sugar out, pour the Maggi salt. Sometimes they will pour some of the Maggi salt. I'm like, now when I'm fast also.
Oh, some people use it for Gary soak.
Maggi salt.
Yes.
Maggi salt.
Yes, some people use it for Gary soak.
Let me tell you what happened to us.
Hey.
We went to
and even Gary shit.
Oh yeah, for that one, Gary shit today I know, but with the Maggie salt, this thing.
My school mother was DO prefect. So me, I wasn't even going for dining. She just packaged some and they'll bring it to me.
I don't like going for dining.
And so one time, she brought me this plenty kinky. So me and my school brother, and I had 2 school brothers. So we were like, okay, let's mash it. We mashed it. I requested for 2 milks, so she brought me 2. And she said, do you have sugar? I said, oh yes, I have plenty sugar. Not knowing my sugar has been swapped.
Of course.
Ooh.
That's what you do.
So I poured so much into it, and it was Maggie, so we couldn't eat it.
How will you eat it?
And the food was so rich. Everything was, everything was in.
Yeah, so that's one disadvantages of
being at the body house.
Being at the boarding house.
I never.
But it was nice.
It was nice. Really?
When I became a senior, I wasn't
punishing people, but
I love the experience.
It's very nice.
Yeah,
it's very nice. So I remember the first time they asked you, go and look for Sister Coca. They have a name they call. And then you roam the whole school compound and then you can't find the person. And do you know what that means? What they're actually referring to is like, excuse me, menstruation. But they found a name for it, and then they'll ask you to go and call a senior name that. And then when you tell the senior, they knows exactly what you are referring to.
Really?
But because they know you're a genius, they just want to frustrate you. You'll be roaming from class to class.
Wow.
You'll just be roaming from class to class. So they see that you are very tired, and then they ask you to go to your dorm.
Otherwise.
Even though it's a nice experience, though.
Boarding house, I never liked it. I never liked boarding house. I'm planning not to let my son go to boarding house.
It's not good. The manipulation.
I feel like you should allow him to experience.
Better
so you can take him to the hostel. When he gets to Form 2, then he goes to the boarding house.
The hostel will be fine. The hostel.
It's an experience that I feel everyone should have.
I don't know. I think that it's the influence it has on.
It's a very big influence.
I'll prefer. I drive you to school in the morning. I pick you up when you close.
That would be stressful.
That is boy.
That would be very, very.
From the beginning to look nice, but to the end, once you get tired,
you will get tired.
Even if I get tired, I'll still find someone to be picking him up. Like
transportation.
Allow the boy to. I don't know man in your head.
But sometimes. So I think the best thing you can do is, before you go to school, sometimes your parents will sit you down. School it's very funny, but what they are saying is the truth. You listen, like you talk to them. Beware of the kind of friends you follow. If you see S&M's phone, it's not your phone. Don't touch it. You will not touch it, but someone.
You see.
I always say that I was not popular in school, but my kid brother made me popular.
He was involved in everything.
Hey, this mafia do. Hey, Roots, come and see your brother.
Anyways, let's just hope that, as we discussed, it turns out to be a better structure than it used to be, so that we can have some sanity in our SHS. Because what we are seeing now is not what can actually, birth out some very reasonable leaders in the future. Most of them, I'm not sure. And you see, these people too, when they gain power in the future, they tend to become, corrupt. Because Washa said they die, so it's in the blood. Okay, this is where we'll end the first segment of the show. Our guests are almost in, so we'll take a short break. And then, when we come back, we delve into the main conversations. But thank you, ladies, for, your insightful experience. And in someone, I know you hit some. Esinances or no, or bois. Hostel for. Or Mudi Bonnie and Casa.
Oh, yeah, hostel for Mudi Bonnie.
Papa.
Mudi Bonnie.
Sometimes when you go to school, I feel like you should know where you come from.
Oh, for that you should not you
because
per se.
Me, the way my father is,
not you per se, but
school no
maybe
other
people. But sometimes you get to meet people that are very frustrated.
Yeah.
was at the hostel, like the university, like my roommates, they were so annoying. They wouldn't make call, they wouldn't watch movie. When you are about to learn, that is when they'll watch movie. And then they are not watching it with earpiece, they're watching it loud and they are making noise. And when you're trying to tell them that, oh, calm down, it looks like,
don't tell me what to do.
You want, so it's a whole lot.
No.
But as she said, you know where you're coming from. So you just focus on.
Okay, so thank you, ladies.
Thank you too.
Let's take a short break. When we come back, the morning show continues with our guest for the main discussions.
Hello worldwide, I'm with level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abakwa sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fi spit fire now. Listen, make you join me with studios. Our GhanaTalks Radio and yes say then our day. Me say download the GhanaTalks Radio app no our Play Store and the App Store. Na tune in and say this what you see baba live on Facebook, ko Instagram, any GhanaTalks Radio page and so now listen. E be your fire. One year, Konya, wading. Jajan.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
So we are back in the studios with the second segment of the show on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. As usual, my name is Pakwesi Omare. And in the studios with me is our guest representing the NDC party. He's in the person of Bismarck Aiken. And this is the first time we are having Bismarck in the studio. So yes, I believe and know it's going to be an interesting conversation today. Bis, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Everything cool?
Yes, please. By the grace of God, all is well.
Yeah. How have things been so far with your party in power? Do you think things have been well as you promised as in opposition, or you think there is more you can do, or you think you yourself you are even disappointed in your party, as some people say it?
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. First of all, I would before I start, I would want to thank all the community members and everyone listening to us on the GhanaTalks Radio, that they have been able to partner with all of us together, and we have been able to transform and cause a change for Ghana, and we are all witnessing the economic transformation that is happening in the country. Yeah, so I want to thank each and everyone with with my vote alone wouldn't have been possible, but we all came out together and caused a tremendous change for the country, and we are all witnessing it. And as the party member, I want to appreciate everyone for this opportunity. So, as we can all witness in this country, before the NDC came to power, Ghana was subjected to a lot of economic crisis, a lot of difficulties, where there was a loss of hope in the country. So people were not were in Ghana, but they were not in Ghana. Why? Because we feel like if you get the opportunity, you should be able to escape these challenges. But so we are all thinking outside Ghana. But now, as we speak, we can see the fresh air that is blowing around the country, and for that matter, we can all testify from every corner of the country that yes, indeed there is a change. And I would say that yes, it is by 5 months now, and we can testify that yes, NDC is on a good track, moving the country to the right direction.
Okay. Speaking of moving the country into the right direction, and how you think there is a fresh air in the air and all that. Just last week, okay, let's even take it from here. When you were in opposition, you campaigned massively, vigorously against taxes introduced by the previous government. You promised that when you come, you are going to smash them all away, and you are not going to introduce any more taxes. The Ghanaian is already burdened with so much challenges that it wouldn't even be reasonable for us to tax them again. And then we wake up one Wednesday morning and hit with the news that government is introducing a 1 cedi levy on fuel. We all know how fuel affects our livelihoods in this country, like every single person. In trade, in whatever you do, it's in a way connected to fuel. The pricing of fuel, the amendments of fuel, and all that comes with fuel, because of transportation, because of so many factors involving fuel. And so if we wake up to such a story that now we are having a 1 cedi levy on fuel to pay, after your party have promised us that no nuisance taxes are going to be added, then you come up with this. How does this, bring a relief in the Ghanaian space?
Thank you so much. Before NDC came to power, John Dramani Mahama promised that he wants to change the economy of this country. And we promised a lot of removal of a lot of taxes, betting tax, e-levy, and then the pollution taxes and the COVID tax. So we kind of want to release the people of Ghana. And for every country to develop, there is the need for all of us to pay taxes. Why? Because Ghana's economy is all of us, our economy. So Ghana economy is like it's a company for which all of us are part of. And if the economy of Ghana is facing challenges, it is we are the same people who can transform, who can change it. And it's not going to be one person. It's not going to be His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's coffers. It's going to be from your coffers, from my coffers. And the only best way that can cause the difference is the decision that you can make that would affect the economy positively. But in the course of doing that, you don't also subject the people into hardship. Why? Because when the betting tax and the e-levy came up, we were so much against it. Why? Because the then president of Ghana, President Nana Akufo-Addo, he removed this toll booth taxing, and it's like it was a blow to most of us. We couldn't really understand why it should be so.
Okay.
And but then that is the decision he as a president took.
Okay.
So we have to accept the fact.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you look at you taking off toll boothing and bringing e-levy onto an ordinary Ghanaian, then it means you are not being fair to the people of Ghana.
Why is it not the same thing your party has done? You just mentioned here that no country can develop without taxes.
Yeah.
So the NPP in opposition, when they were in position or in power, they introduced taxes.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a fact of they also trying to make sure we all contribute to the development of our country? Why was it wrong then? But you think we should accept it as the rightful doing under your party's administration?
Yes, that's good. Yes, that is why I said in the first place that before you make a decision, you look at a decision that would affect the country positively. Yes, you have to create, implement taxes for revenue collection to be able to generate revenue. But then you have to look at which tax is in a way would affect the people positively.
Okay.
Just to put it in quote, reasonable taxes.
Okay.
Yes, reasonable taxes in the sense that if you say I should pay, the people of Ghana should pay a transaction levy of sending money to your mother, your grandmother. Your grandmother has a phone which is registered Momo.
Yeah.
And when he's paying, he's doing transaction to wherever, the tax is going to affect this old woman. And people in the secondary schools, the universities who are not working, all of these people operate mobile money. And for that matter, if you are to do a transaction, no matter the amount, probably they sent the amount for you for, say, for school fees.
Okay.
For you to do this transaction, the e-levy is going to be deducted from your money. Okay. And for that matter, the taxes were kind of, we see it as nuisance to the people of Ghana.
Okay.
Why? Because why an old man or old woman who cannot work again, the small money you send to him or her, the small money she will transact to his or her child in the school, the government have to tax on that money. And when you look at it in a court, it is not in the best interest of the country. And that was why most of us in the country were against it.
Okay.
Yes. So it's like you are subjecting the people into a particular corner where you press them. They cannot release themselves because your energy is stronger than them, and we have to accept it in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah. So looking at the our 1 cedi tax on the fuel, that's in a way very good. Why? Because the finance ministry, in addition to President Mahama, have thought through it very well. And you remember he made a statement that even though it is difficult to implement this tax, but we have to accept it. Why? Because looking at where the country is now, if you are paying tax, the tax should have a reason for which you are paying tax. And that is why we as people of Ghana, in a way, we are not happy with the MPP government. Why? Because if I am paying a 1 cedi tax, the government should be able to tell us what they are using the money for. Okay, probably unlike they wanted to implement this Agenda 111 hospitals. So they have a tax, assuming the 1 cedi, the e-levy tax was just purpose for
the Agenda 111.
Agenda 111. Okay. Yes, we know that even though it's difficult for us to pay these taxes, but then at the end of the day, we are going to generate a lot of infrastructure in terms of our hospitals.
Okay.
And nobody will be against building hospitals because hospital is life.
Okay. Okay. So what is the reason for the 1 cedi levy?
Yeah, so the 1 cedi levy is just to be able to help us to come out of our electrical challenges.
Okay, the energy crisis
that we face for quite a long time from government to government. Yeah, and President John Mahama before then has a track record of solving this problem, and he has come back again to be able to solve the problem completely for once and for all.
Okay.
And that is the more reason why they came out with this 1 cedi tax.
Yeah.
And the 1 cedi tax, I think, is a very good one because before NDC came to power, fuel to a liter was 17 Ghana cedis. And based on the brains of our finance ministry in collaboration with the Bank of Ghana, they have been able to put systems in place and reduced the dollar down.
Okay.
And it affects a lot of things in the country.
Okay.
As in addition to the fuel prices.
Okay.
So if we were paying the 17 to a liter, 17 Ghana cedi to a liter, and now the fuel prices has reduced down to 12 cedis, and we have a power crisis. And for that matter, the government is saying that let us put a 1 cedi on top of the 12 cedis, so that we will be able to solve our energy crisis in the country.
Okay.
I think with this is a very good thing that we need to embrace as people of Ghana, because what is the difference of 17 cedis to
12 cedis
12
or
cedis?
13 cedis? I get you. See, it's it's understandable.
Yeah.
That yes, we do have energy crisis at the moment.
Yeah.
But if your party says you solved it before leaving power, okay, let me rephrase it. As a journalist, I know by my own findings that yes, indeed, the NDC solved Doomso before leaving power. What do you think the erstwhile administration, which is the NPP government, who was in power for 8 years, did wrong, that we are back to this challenge? Because now their argument, I don't know if you listened to the Honorable Oponkroma yesterday, that actually they kept the power on throughout their 8 years in tenure. So the NDC should actually come and seek advice on how to maintain the power, or even how to govern a country, so that they don't fall into any energy crisis as we are seeing now. What do you think has brought us back under your administration, that they are boasting now that under their 8 years administration, we never went into any power crisis, even though there are records of debts accumulated under their governance?
Yeah, so I think yesterday I saw that, and it was very funny to me, because it's like we have made politics to tune our minds into a particular direction, in the sense that people talk without conscience.
Wow.
Why? Because we all know how this nation was before MPP leaving power.
Yeah.
And the kind of things that were going on, we were seeing some physically, but now we can see a lot of those mess that they caused before leaving power. So if Kojo Opon Nkrumah is saying that NDC should come to them for them to teach them or tell them how they were able to keep the lights on, then he just being political, and that is not good on his part as a patriotic citizen as he is. Yeah, because we don't have to let politics overrule our minds in the sense that we overlook what would benefit us or what will help us in the name of criticizing a party just to make sure that you get a political point. Yes, so if that is the case, Ghana cannot develop. Ghana cannot develop with this kind of mindset.
Because so are you saying he was wrong? He is wrong in.
Of course, he was wrong. Why? Because we what is the debt accumulation from the NPP government before they left power, and even the power was not stable. They were just playing mind games on the people of Ghana.
Well, they said that time that all the challenges we had, it wasn't Doom, so it was Doom CC.
Yes. So they NPP have different means of manipulating the minds of Ghanaians. Yeah. So when there is a challenge, if it is within the country, they take it external and be able to manipulate the minds of the people. So people will think they are not the fault. So it is the same mind, but one thing that they have to know is that Ghana is beyond political mind games.
Okay.
And whatever you are doing, people, we are watching. Ghanaians are watching whatever you are doing. You are not supposed to come and tell somebody this is like this before the person will believe you.
Okay.
So
people now have the access to know exactly
what is
right
happening. People have access to information.
Okay.
Unlike the first time where you come to do press conference before people will hear what is going on. No, it's not more like that.
Okay.
So that is what NPP have to understand and be able to change their political game. If not, I think the more they do those kind of propaganda and political mind games, it rather reduces their the confidence Ghanaians have in them. So they have to understand the trend of the system, the information system now, and that I think will help us as a country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our power crisis, it has been a challenge to us since 2004. If my memory serves me right, that was the first time I, as a person, as a Ghanaian, began to experience the power crisis in Ghana. And that was under the NPP through the former President Kufuor, which he even had to assemble some pastors to the Akosomo Dam to go and pray so that water will fall into the dam and all those stuff. Fast forward to 2013, 2014, it got out of hand under the NDC administration. But then most people, I would say, weren't so privy to what has happened in the past. So they actually thought it was the doing of the NDC for bringing Dumso into the country or into the economy. And they promised to fix it. They did fix it before leaving power in 2016, which as a journalist, I can testify to that. 8 years under the NPP, another 4-year term for the NDC, which has begun in 5 months now, and we are back to square one, facing power challenges. What do you think governments in succession should do to permanently solve this problem? Because this problem is beyond political callous. This is what the entire nation is facing. Everything, every institution, every factory, every industry, the entire economy, one of our major backbones of Ghana's economy, lies on our energy sector. So if we are failing to produce energy to back our economy, how does the economy become productive? So in succession of governments, whether NPP, whether NDC, whoever leads us has taken the mantle for Ghanaians. What do you think government should put in place, should do to solve this menace permanently?
Okay, thank you so much. In my own view, I think that power crisis or energy is very important for every country, and for your economy to boost, you need power to be able to produce.
Sure.
Yeah, so for the successive governments coming and we have a lot of challenges in that area means there is something wrong. And you know, is energy production is about technical issue.
Okay.
It's not like maybe say economics where sometimes you can in a way use your own mind to be able to manipulate some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I believe that I am not saying the appointees of the energy ministry or energy sector are not qualified, but there should be more consideration as to the personalities that they send to the Ministry of Energy, so that if you get a competent person who has the technical know-how, there is no way that these some of these challenges would be handed over from government to government. Just look at the example, like this current government. Our economic system was in a serious mess before NDC came to power. Just for 5 months in NDC office, being in office, the finance minister, Honorable Atoforsen, based on his level of understanding about the economic system, he has been able to put a lot of things and strategize the economy in the way that it has affected the country all angles. And that tests to you the importance of looking at the capabilities of the individuals in the appointment. And when you look at from MPP, NDC, energy crisis, kind of having issues for government to government, it means we have to sit down and rethink. Sometimes it's not just about this money matter we are talking about, but you have the money. How do you use the money to make sure you stabilize the system?
Okay.
Without the knowledge and the technical know-how, you have the money and
you will still not know,
what to do with it.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, you see this is where the embezzlement comes in. They will begin to bribe and corruption, a whole lot of doing left, right, center. At the end of the day, no result is produced.
Okay.
And then they subject the country into debt. So the energy sector, in a way, have, as we all know, is a challenge for us. It has to be really looked at. So we look at the people that we sent them there, not being political in the sense, okay, I am an NDC person, I'm an MPP person, so because of that, guess for my background in this area, go and be a minister of energy. No.
Okay.
What track records do you have that you can prove to Ghanaians that, okay, for giving you this office, you will be able to solve the problem, the challenges that are facing the ministry, just like Atoforsen is doing for the our finances.
Finances, yeah.
So that is the area we have to look at as a country.
Okay.
Not being political in terms of dealing with some of these issues. And also checks and balances.
Okay.
Checks and balances is very critical as we speak now.
Okay.
Because, okay, you sent the person to the ministry for him to deliver for you. So at the end of the day, you have energy crisis. As like we took power, we inherited the power, the challenge now.
Okay.
From
but then NPP is saying there wasn't any challenge. It only appeared when you came to power.
Yes, that's why I told you that MPP has a political mind game. Yeah, we all in this country and we know what was happening.
Okay.
So they are not supposed to come and defend and tell us that no, there was no power crisis.
Okay.
We were seeing it. You were in Ghana, I was in Ghana.
Okay.
If you are listening to me somewhere, you are in Ghana. and you know what was happening before then. Okay. So no one needs to tell you that yes, there was no power crisis before you believe him or her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in a nutshell, your last words on the energy crisis and how we can mitigate our ways to finally resolve it once and for all. Like what will be your last words on it? In terms of how
so we can, just like our Excellency President Mahama, he has done it before and we know he can do it again.
Okay.
And he gave a very vibrant suggestion that they are going to put up I think one of the fuel this by 2020 liquid gas by 2026 so that by the end of I think 2028 by the end of 2028 we will have this liquid gas that will be able to power our energy sector. And for that matter we are forever safe from this crisis.
Okay.
Yeah, so we know President Mahama, he has done it before and he can do it.
Yeah.
And it is one of the things that seen in him bringing up.
Yeah.
I was so happy and pleased with that. For that matter,
okay.
We believe that we are on the good track, and for that matter, all that is expected of them is for them to start.
Okay.
And we are ahead of solving the problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you there, Bismarck. Now let's get into the main conversations for the day. And wherever you are listening to us, don't forget to join the conversation. Add your comments, your views, your suggestions, your know-how on all the topics that we are about to delve into. You can join the conversation on all our social media platforms as well, on TikTok, on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, and on Instagram. Also, our YouTube channel is GhanaTalks Radio. On all social media platforms is at GhanaTalks Radio. So get interactive and we will do same with you. Bismarck,
yes,
as time is moving, let's get into the conversation. I think when Joseph joins, he can also add his own quota to it. But do you remember NPP's Dennis Abuaje miracle? Dennis. Yeah. Last 3 days, Dennis said that our entire education system is outmoded and it actually needs an overhaul. Looking at where the world is going, looking at where there's been advancement in so many areas, and most of these things are educationally related or motivated, and looking at our education system as a country, do you think we are in the same race with the outside world, or you think we are cornered in a box where the mode of education here, our system, is not one that we can boast of to challenge the advancement of the outside world, or what people call the Western world, and so that we need an overhaul of our entire education system, because according to Dennis Miracle, the entire education system is outmoded.
Yeah, sometimes that's an area that I think we need not to politicize it when it comes to our education.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was, I think, 2023, 24, the same person was saying that our educational system is, I think, it's on track. And this same person is saying that it's one that needs to be looked at.
Okay.
And when you look at it, as I told you earlier, MPP is noted for political mind games. But then there are areas that we need not to do politics about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we know education is for a country to develop will be about education.
Sure.
Because if your human resource is not developed, at the end of the day, you would have the people, but what the people will bring to you will have nothing to talk about. So education is an area that for every, if you are Ghanaian, we don't have to politicize it and say it as it is.
Okay.
Yeah, because looking at our educational system, just from the A level down to today, I think the A level, in a way, what I heard about it, in a way, was in a good track compared to now.
Okay.
Yes,
What did you learn about the A level and compared to now? What do you think is the difference?
Yeah, the A level, what the little my lecturer told me about A level was, you know, before you come out of school, you are well groomed.
Okay.
And he said that, the lecturer said, unlike now that we have a lot of young men and women in the schools, at the universities, before you get to the university, you are already a man or woman before you get to the university. So it's like, before you leave the secondary school, they prepare you, they groom you, you become like, you know, your left and right.
How did the O level and the A level groom these people, as you put it?
Yeah, it is how they structured the system compared to ours now.
Okay.
And you know, junior high school, senior high, when I went to senior high school, most of our subjects, we were not able to finish it all.
Okay.
I did the general science.
Okay.
And most of the subjects, it's like, it gets to a point, the teacher have to look at which subjects or which topics are the ones that WAEC will set questions on.
Okay.
So he tries to cover some of these topics so you can write your exam and pass.
Okay.
And when you look at this like this, in a way, we are not helping ourselves. Why? Because if you go to the school to just in the name of passing the exam, you are not helping the human resource of the country.
Okay.
So I would say that now our educational system is very porous, and there is a need for us to look at it, and then so that we'll be able to follow the trend of today's current education system. Yeah, because as day in, day out, things are changing, and when you continue the old ways from those years, compare it to today, then it will not help us as a country.
Okay.
Yeah, so we need not to politicize our educational system, and think about it, think through it, and see what can we do to make sure we put things in place and groom our people, groom the human resource for the country. Why? Because most of these offices, it is we Ghanaians that are going to place them, like the energy sector we were talking about. If you don't groom these people well, how then did they come to solve problems or challenges like this?
Okay.
So if we are able to develop our human resource properly, then it means Ghana is developed.
Okay.
So for that matter, we have to look at structuring our educational system to fit the current system, to be able to solve some of these challenges that the country may be subjected to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you, in a way, agree with Dennis that even though last year the same person on May 27th said that when he was asked about the educational system, when people questioned him about the challenges of the educational system, he actually played it down and rather admonished that the education system, as of last year, 2024, just a year ago, was one of the best ever. How strong, how articulative, and how, explosive it looks. And a year after, in opposition, he says the education system is not the best for us to boast of, and that it needs an overhaul. What do you think of these two things? Or you in a way, you actually share his sentiments that we need an overhaul in the education system, regardless of what he said last year.
Yeah, so that is why I said in the beginning that our educational system is an area that we need not to politicize it, and be frank with the fact. Yeah, so in a way, sometimes we make politics overtake our minds, and you talk and you look at the person and you are shocked looking at the person who is making the statement.
Okay.
Why? Because when you look at even before the free SHS, I would say it was better before. So the implementation of free SHS in a way reduced our educational system about 60-70%, and it becomes more porous. So
you think that the introduction of free SHS rather brought a challenge?
It's a big challenge.
Wow.
A very big one.
Wow.
The introduction of free SHS brought a very big challenge to the people of Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, but they were driving the car, so because of that, we were just following. We were passengers, so we cannot say anything because they are leading us.
Okay.
So for that matter, he was being political, and that was why he was saying it was the best and all of that. Why? Because if you look at my time that I'm saying, we were not able to finish our syllables.
Yeah.
A child will go to school and then come back to the house and spend like 3-4 months in the house, and go back to school. He will spend like 2 months and then come back to the house. So if I was spending 4 months, 3 months in the school, and then come and spend 2 weeks, go back, and I'm not able to finish my syllabus, can you imagine a student who will go for 2 months, come back to the house and sit for 3-4 months? What will happen to such a student?
Okay. I get you. I understand you. So, all right. Now your party is in power.
Yeah.
Now you are driving the wheel. So it lies in your bosom to do the needful.
Exactly.
So that we can actually rebuild our human resource to withstand the times in which we are in.
Sure.
Especially against the outside world. Okay. Moving on to our next topic for discussion. We all know how corruption has been embedded, especially in the political scene of this country. People have actually made millions out of politics. You know, people live in opulence once they enter into politics and all. And this Monday we learned that Parliament is considering implementing a lifestyle audit, where now people's lives are going to be under strict monitoring, where the way that you used to live your life before you entered into politics or even became a parliamentarian and all, and the changes, the instant uprise in your financial expenditure is going to be monitored. Do you think this is the right call? Because people are saying, hey, but I mean, if I am into politics, does that mean I can't have my right to live the life that I want to live and all that? Probably I have my own means of making my own money to live that life that I so badly want to live. So if you are placing me under some surveillance, you are actually curtailing my freedom of whatever. What do you also share in this sentiment? Do you think the lifestyle audit is the right call to place people, especially politicians, under some financial discipline, or is something that will intrude in their personal freedoms?
Okay, thank you so much. So before I come in there, I think let me conclude about the education
system,
system before I come back. You know, NDC, as we said, they are already looking into the system in transforming and changing it to our current trend. And that is the more reason why Honorable Haruna Eduso said we'll go back to the old system and by having the 3 terms for a year. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, so we are not cancelling the free SHS, but then the double track system have to be cancelled.
Okay.
And also, I learned the selection of these schools. Yeah. There is a way that I heard. When you are selecting the school, you look at which of the you choose one for boarding, and then one for day, just to make sure that the system becomes a reasonable way, or it becomes best for the people. Why? Because maybe if I'm choosing Accra Academy, and then I know I'll get Accra Academy, possibly I'm living around Accra Academy, so I don't have to choose Accra Academy as a boarding.
Okay.
So if I choose as a day student, because I am living around there, it becomes more easier, so that somebody who is coming from Western region or the Northern region can choose a boarding as what for Accra Academy, so that the system becomes more flexible for the students.
Okay.
And that, I think, Honorable Haruna Idrisu has really thought through it very well, and it's very good for them to do that, to be able to accommodate most of these students, to eliminate infrastructural challenges in the system.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are on track on that. Yeah, so coming back to the
topic at hand.
The topic at hand.
Yeah.
I think, as NDC promised, NDC is fulfilling, and when you look at most of the things that we promise, it's like looking at the mess that NPP has caused. The NDC is working at a very fast speed, and for that matter, when they bring in this, you will understand that they are mind-blowing policies that they are bringing to be able to make sure that things work in the right direction.
Okay.
Yeah, so this, I think, should have been done long time ago, because when you look at Africa, most of our challenges we have now is leadership. And it is the reason why when you can hear a lot of the incumbent president have been overtaken by the military in our continent around. Yeah, so we have a challenge, and it has to be looked at to be able to address some of these issues, because people have elected you to be their leader, and make sure you put structures in place, and things will work for people in the country to be able to live a successive life, an enjoyable life, and then rather you come and then subject them to a mess that they regret for you to be their leader. And we thank God that for the past 8 years there was no any coup in this country. Just by the grace of God, Ghanaians are a peaceful country.
Why do you think there could have been a coup in the country in the past 8 years? What do you think had the potential to have triggered a coup?
Yeah, the reason is, we all understood and we knew very well that there was something wrong in most of our government system.
Okay.
And for that matter, things are not working right, but then they are painting it as, yes, it's right.
Okay.
And we know things are not well. And we complain, they don't listen, you talk, they don't listen, what they want is what they do. They demonstrated against for the removal of Finance Minister, Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, who is now being a fugitive now. And they said no, they won't listen. I don't know, for the fact of family and friends government nature or system, they refuse not to remove him. And things continue to go in the bad direction. So I, looking at the corner that the past government put Ghanaians in, it is just by the mercy and the grace of God that led us not to go into coup, because we knew things were not right. And if someone gives you a power for you to put things right, and you are rather messing it up, I think the people of Ghana had the right. We had the right to make sure that we overtake them for messing up our economy. But just for the nature and the peaceful nature of Ghanaians, we kind of have to be patient enough and wait for the 8 years to pass so that we can make a change. And that is what we did that currently. And then now the NDC has come, and we all of them were seeing it. And thank God that President Mahama was working out things when he was in a position. When you look at the mind-blowing things that he's doing, you can understand that yes, when Mahama was in office, was in opposition, he was not sleeping. He was really working seriously. Because the thinking level of policies that he's bringing up, they are not just normal. They don't come out normal. It comes with a lot of brainstorming. Sure. Through all the corners of the country. So we thank God now, looking at understanding the mess that the past government has brought us to. There is a need for a proper strategy to be able to defeat the system and bring back the trust that people have. People lost in the political system. Myself, if the last government, if this our NDC government were to go in the direction of MPP, then I think there wouldn't be an interest in politics. Why? Because people now see politics as evil. When you see a politician, the person seems to be an evil person. Why? Because you go to an office and then you are thinking about yourself. You want to accumulate a mass wealth for yourself and your family and unborn children. And it is sad.
Sure. So you think the lifestyle audit is something that we actually need in our political scene?
Exactly. The lifestyle audit is we really need it as Ghanaians and our political system. We need it seriously in the situation we find ourselves now. Why? Because we know NDC leaders are very disciplined and they will not go in the direction of a lot of mess that the MPP government has caused by a lot of stealing that happened. When you look at the National Service ghost names that were being manipulated, and a lot of CDs were taken from the public purse each month. And it seems like nobody cares. The Finance Ministry doesn't care. The Bank of Ghana doesn't care. Why the money? Where is the money going to? So there is a need for this lifestyle audit to be able to save the country resources. Because when you are in the office and then maybe they have an amount of money that they have given to you, you should be able to make accountability what you have used the money for. If you can account for what you have used the money for, then you have to be questioned.
But this lifestyle audits, as I put it earlier on, I mean, yes, I am in to serve the country. But then, does that mean I don't have my personal life to live? If I want to buy a car that costs me $1 million and I can afford it, just because I'm a politician, does it mean I shouldn't go for what I want, even though I can afford it? Does being a politician automatically make me a corrupt human being or person, that I don't have to live to a standard of living that I prefer to live to, don't you think this lifestyle audit is going to, infringe on the freedom of some of these people?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah. Why? Because lifestyle audit is an investigative tool that is used to assess what your properties, what you have before you assume office, and then what you have maybe 2025. You had this amount of money in your account. You have this amount of cars. You have this amount of companies. So at the end of the day, you are a businessman and a politician at the same time. So if maybe you assume office, and then you begin to buy properties in US, UK, Canada, and we'll come back and then look at your businesses, your companies that you are owing cannot afford these properties in UK, then it means that there is something wrong somewhere. And you will have to be questioned. So the lifestyle audit is not to infringe on anybody's rights or not to put somebody in a tight corner, but making sure that as you come to serve Ghana, you serve, but you don't steal the country.
Okay, that's fair. Fortunately for us, we have Joe join us in the studios, and so we are going to take Joe's take on these matters that we are discussing. Joe, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So yes, the Parliament has called for the implementation of a lifestyle audit to politicians, and yes, there's been questions raised that, I mean, I have my own life to live. Just because I'm a politician doesn't mean if I can afford $1 million wristwatch, I can't buy it. If I can buy it, why shouldn't I buy it? Or being a politician automatically makes me a corrupt human being?
I get your point. First of all, I'd like to say good morning to my fellow listeners out there, and also good morning to my boss, Valentino Nino Note, and the incoming national organizer, as in the person of Titus Glover, the former Greater Accra Regional Minister, and also the incoming youth organizer for Greater Accra, that's in the person of Mandela Yafi, is the person. And today we are inviting our patriot to Trouble constituency. We are having our ghetto invasion over there, so I say good morning to them all. Now, with this policy of the implementation of the lifestyle audit, to me, I see it to be a political witch hunt. Why a political witch hunt? Now, if my party is in power, and you are, let me say, an enemy to me, or maybe you've attacked my government, like the way my government is in opposition. We have some of the party in power executives or MPs or ministers or maybe government officials attacking the MPP whilst in opposition. They've hunted them more tough time. Then we've come to power, and then we know for sure you were having opposition. One way or the other, you've been able to loot us some monies, or there are some projects that have been given to you, or contract that has been given to you, that one way or the other, the expenses in that project is going to be less or more, or there are some, we are human beings, one way or the other, there also be this kind of kakra. So we'll come attacking you because you have set that precedence.
But Joe, if you call it a witch hunt, I mean, the NPP is not the only people as politicians.
No, so what I'm saying is that you attack NPP when it comes to power, you also come and do the same. So it's like both parties will be hunting each other, and then when it happens like that, it doesn't make the country a democratic country. it doesn't make the nation, like it won't bring peace into the country.
So in a nutshell, you think that this lifestyle audit is not necessary?
It's not necessary.
Okay, so
when you feel like when you feel like Ubia US and now there's an allegation in any institutions.
Yeah.
You have Yoko, you have OSP.
Okay.
You have the CID.
Yeah.
You have national security. So why can't we use those institutions to run into those agencies and then do a background checks on whatever allegations that is going on over there, so that we can solve it, rather than you bringing this? Because once this bill is being passed in Parliament, just recently I learned Yoko is requesting for Cecilia Adapa's docket. You want to go for the they want to reopen the case again. And then to me, I see it as a political witch hunt.
Okay.
A case that has been they've already gone through the process and everything, and then they've given a verdict. They've set her free.
Okay.
Because all the investigations or the allegations on her, they are not having any evidence. So why then do we proceed with the case?
Okay.
And then now you are in power, you are saying that okay, we should go and visit the office again.
So you think it's a political witch hunt?
It's a political witch hunt to me, because all these agencies that I mentioned, they are political appointees.
Okay.
They are politically appointed people over there.
Okay.
So I see it to be a political witch hunt, which is not okay to me.
Okay.
That they should implement such policy.
All right.
Okay, so can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So he said that if you are in the office, nobody's cannot kakra. But you know, it's not every money that you spend as a human being. Even though you might have access to the money.
Yeah.
So if there is no a system that would ensure that people that have maybe sorry to say okro mouth or okro hands, that will go into spending money that is not meant to be spent, then I think we are not being fair to the country.
No, I just said that. Now, if you say obi USK and also obi DCK, you have every right to audit that person.
Yeah.
Now, in every institution, you have audits. We have the audit department.
Okay.
That at the end of every month or every year, they do audit. Aside the various institutions having their audit, we have external audit. You understand?
Yeah.
So every year, external audit goes to every agencies and then go and then audit the annual revenue of the institution. So in case external audit has gone, internal audit almost see everything is clear. Now external aba, you know, you say there are some questions they need to answer. We are not getting clarifications. What then do they do? If they need to involve the CID, they do. If it's beyond the CID, that is when the IOCO and the National Security and the rest comes in. If it's beyond them, that is when the OSP and then court and everything comes in. You understand my point?
Okay. Yeah. So let me let you understand that you mentioned IOCO, Attorney General, and all of that.
Yeah.
Were those institutions there before the MPP left power?
Yes, they were there.
They were there.
Yeah.
They were there when there was money allegation against the Minister of Sanitation,
Cecilia Dapa.
So I'm coming. They were there before this national service ghost names that you and I are aware today. They were there before Edu Boehi was stealing money from our offices in the name of he wants to deliver services. So if you have systems and then they are not working, you have to make sure that you think through, you look at it and see what other alternative system.
So you can't tell me tell me this lifestyle audit policy that they want to implement is a system that is going to, give mandate. Charlie, Ghana is a democratic country. Get that? Now, freedom of movement, freedom of life. You understand? I have my money.
Yeah.
This phone that I'm using, it's almost 6,000 to 7,000. The work I'm doing, I'm not receiving a salary of that amount, but yet I'm using that kind of phone. You understand? When you come to my room, there are certain things I use in my room that are much expensive. That has not even compared to my salary. It will be like, let's say, 6 or 7 months of my salary that I can purchase that thing. But I've been able to purchase it. But Obiba made them say it was cool. But yet I don't have anything. You understand? Okay. It is true savings that I've been able to afford those things. Okay. So imagine maybe, let's say I'm using a car right now. Maybe I'm using a Civic or something. You know the price of Civic currently in this country. And then I'm a young boy. I'm not working. I'm just doing my national service. But I'm using a Civic. How come? Maybe I have a side job I do. As last time I stated, I'm an electrical engineer. Let's say I've won a contract. Contract, my winning contract. I've gone to deliver the work. Let's say about 4 or 7 contracts. I have done it. Definitely through this 7 or 5 contracts, I can purchase the Corolla. You understand?
But Joe, in this case.
So if you are saying,
in this case, I'm coming. In this case, I get you very well.
Yeah.
But then, if the lifestyle audit is implemented, in this case, don't you think this even clears you of all that doubt that now we say or a national service keke na we to talk away any wire corruption be not there. The audit will bring it out that no, he actually has a side hustle. He won a contract on this day. He was paid this amount. That is why he was able to purchase this phone or this car. So don't you think?
That's the same way the CID, Yoko, OSP, and National Security can do.
They can also do.
They can also do the same thing.
So that is why I told you that
before even with this policy, now they can implement it. Ghanaians will think, yeah, it's working, but yet obey. Like, I want you to understand the concept where I'm coming from. You understand my point?
Yeah.
If he would surely steal, he will surely steal. Because if you are telling me, say, when they implement this thing, it's one way or the other going to help us with when it comes to corruption, to reduce corruption in the country. But it's not 100% or let me say 70% assured with this policy that is going to minimize the corruption.
Okay.
You understand? There are a lot of things that we can do to minimize corruption in this country. So if you are telling me
you don't think lifestyle is
no.
Okay. No. So what will you admonish the speaker
with the lifestyle this thing? When they implement it, now I list some things down that these are the things that are going to help us. Now it's going to improve transparency and accountability. Now aside that also, it's going to help us fight corruption, and then also it's also going to help us gain public trust when it comes to politicians.
Okay.
When you mention politicians, people feel like, oh, politicians, dear Charlie, easy. So it doesn't speak well of politicians. Now on the other side too, the challenges that comes in is what? It's lack of capability.
How?
Now, there's a situation whereby, let's say, as I said, the political witch hunt.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay.
It falls under that.
Okay.
And then also, a policy is something like privacy. You understand?
So it will intrude in privacy.
Into people's privacy.
Okay.
All right.
So with these things, it doesn't clearly shows that Charlie obedience and like
it's a
lot.
Okay, I think that one thing we the youth of the country can do to save this country is that we can all belong to one political party, but there's one thing we can do to move this country ahead. Yeah, because
what is that thing?
I am in NDC, okay? So now NDC is bringing a lifestyle audit, okay? I can decide to criticize a lifestyle audit as an NDC person, looking at how good or bad the policy is. Yes, you get it? But here is a case in our country when a party is bringing a policy. Most of the time, the opponent, the opposition party, either is good or bad, they are in 100% opposing it because they feel they want to undermine the incumbent government. Overlooking the potential and the benefit, the positive results that the policy will bring. Yeah. So if my brother is here telling me that lifestyle audit is not something that will help us as a country, then I'm shocked. Why? Because Parliament is supposed to make laws. And then what is the function of laws? Are to guide and direct people in a particular direction. Yes, here is a case that we have people in offices. There was Yoko, there was Attorney General, and then they were stealing in their offices, and we were not able to detect some of these things. And now somebody has come, and now I want to put a system that even though you have access to the money, even if nobody is watching you, you dare not touch the money. And then you are telling me that system, that policy, you think is not right.
No.
So to save this country, I think that we need to, in a way, be fair enough in our discourse in defending some of these policies. You get it? Because politics, in a way, it does not make us as people who are not intellectuals. It does not make us as people who cannot think. It does not make us as people who cannot reason. It does not make us as people who don't have conscience. So as people of Ghana, there is a need for us to look at the positivity of the policies, no matter your political color. If you think that this policy is the one that will help the country, there is a need for you to embrace it. That was why MPP and the NDC was against the removal of Ken Oforiatta, and even lucky enough, there were some good MPP parliamentarians that were in support of that, but some were politicizing it in a way. So we need to help the country in embracing policies that will help transform the country instead of us standing against it in the name of I am an opponent, so let me attack him and all of that. Let me be against him. It won't help us as a country.
Thank you, Bismarck.
I want to ask him a question.
Our time is
when we were
actually
in power,
up, so we are wrapping up.
When we were in power, he made mention of Cecilia Dape's case, the NSS ghost name scandal, and then also Edibu Ahin's issue. Now, my question here is that when we were in power,
Ken Oforiatta,
what has he done?
We know he's now. We are trying to.
No.
Ken Oforiatta, let him answer
what has he done? You've not been able to provide the reason why you are after him.
We are on borrowed time. I don't want us to get into Ken's case because how do we even state his allegations when the man is not availing himself for questioning? I'm asking you. You are saying
no.
If he avails himself. So until then, he will still be a suspect. So we can't downplay that.
So
but you ask your question.
So now, Cecilia Dape's case, when it happened, did the government did the government prevent OSP or any of the security agencies not to intervene or go and then do investigation about it?
No.
They gave the order to make sure they do the right thing. And then it was done. Now, all the allegations and everything that was brought against her, we're not confident enough to even if they need to even jail her or something. You understand? So we looked into it, and then there was nothing wrong with it. So we have to squash it. Now, aside that, the NSS scandal issue came, I think, a month or 2 months to general election.
January election.
Yeah, general election.
Before
the general election. It was, I think, a month or 2 months before that
Okay.
You understand? Even with that, there were no evidences to back that case.
Joe,
it was just a saying. You see, they were putting it in a political distance.
See, do you know who brought out the NSS scandal?
Who?
The Fourth Estate. And actually, the people involved, the NPP party, sought an injunction against Fourth Estate to not be able to bring out the expose. Have you forgotten? No, have you forgotten? You are asking your question.
I have not forgotten.
So how then do you say that it was?
No, if you are no. See, with what he's saying, he's saying that we're in government and yet you did nothing about all those allegations. And I'm trying to tell him that no, we did not prevent anyone from. Okay. If you have any case and then you want to take it to court or something, do we prevent?
Okay.
No.
Okay, that's fair.
You understand? So they didn't take any any of the cases to court that we've seen this and that, and then we are fighting against it, but nothing has been done, so we are bringing it to court or something. Right. So we need justice to that.
Okay.
Was any allegation of that sort being sent to court concerning the NSS scandal? No.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you understand my point? Now, Eduboahin's case too. It was after the elections, before all these things came up.
Okay.
So if you are saying we're in power, we knew. Are you sure if we knew? And then it is in the public person that Eduboahin is doing this and that, and then if government did nothing about it, that is where you have to question.
And Joe, don't you think that is what even makes the matter more questionable? That under your government in 8 years, all these things went on. Your people weren't able. Your people who were actually at the helms of affairs weren't able to detect it, and a party takes over few months, 3 months into power, or even less than that. They are able to uncover all these things.
No, what are the things they uncover? They only uncover Eduboahin's case.
Okay, that's fair. As I said, our time is up, so I wouldn't want us to debate more into it, but we'll make another time, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritties of this issue, because we are not done with it. We need to revisit it with both of us in the studio. So next week, let's do well and do the honorable thing. But our last words before we leave the show. Our last words. I'll take Joe first. I know you are going to campaign for titles. You campaign for
me. So my question here is about the nurses strike.
Okay.
What is the government doing about it?
Okay.
We are seeing the way the NDC communicators and the NDC foot soldiers lambasting the nurses here and there. To me, it's not of a good call.
Okay.
Now, just yesterday, or should I say, no, that was Monday, I lost my uncle.
Oh, sorry.
Due to this issue.
That's unfortunate.
You understand? So if some of us are talking, they'll be like, yeah, politics.
But you know what you have.
Yes. Okay. When you go to Kolebu, go there and then see, just even Lekma. About, I think that was Sunday evening, the Ladma president for Lejikuku, he issued a statement that Charlie, he is pleading on the government to at least release or do the needful for nurses to go in there and make sure they survive, they save the lives of patients.
Okay.
Because he said, Charlie, the issues there and and then we know how Lekma is because of the Kolebu issue, the Lajena hospital issue. So it's like there has been a huge tension at the Lekma hospital.
Okay.
So if nurses are not there, how do we take good care of the patients?
Okay. So in a nutshell, wrap up for me so that.
So they should do the needful.
Okay.
If they need to do something with it, they should do whatever thing the nurses are demanding.
Okay.
Because they are those holding our lives now.
Okay.
Even though the lives is with God. But if God is not there, they are those. They are the next people.
Okay.
So the government should do the needful. If today, right now, let's say, I'm not saying that to happen, and then something happens to our president, who is going to, take care of? You be like, doctors are there. Yeah, doctors are there, but the doctor cannot do everything. He need assistance. And then those assistants are the what? The nurses. So I beg the government, they should quickly order or make the rightful things to make sure the right thing is done.
All right.
By next week Monday, or by tomorrow is Thursday, Friday. By Monday, nurses should resume to their various departments and then make sure they do the needful.
Okay.
Thank you. And then also, I'm saying that I'm pleading on all patriots out there to rally behind Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, coming Prime Minister, and then also to be our next presidential candidate. And then also not just candidate, but to be the next president of the Republic of Ghana. I'm pleading to all Ghanaians and then also to our patriots out there. And then also they should remember Titus Glover and also the Greater Accra Mandela. Today we are having an invasion, so ghetto invasion within the constituency. So we need all patriots to come on board to support the Mandela initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deju. Bismarck, your last words. A very brief one before.
Thank you so much. We all know NDC is leading Ghana in a very right direction, and for that matter, we entreat every Ghanaian that we need to support our current government NDC, and let go of political propaganda. We can see from the beginning of this NDC government, January, almost all the things that they are bringing about is kind of mind-blowing things that will transform the economy of this country. And we need to let go of propaganda and be able to support the country so that they can lead us to our promised land. Indeed, Ghana is in a mess by the past government, and then all hope is not lost. We still believe that yes, we're getting the trusted people that can bring the confidence back and be able to strategize the economy proper, so that even if you are selling anything on the road, you can be somebody that you can make a meaningful life. Yeah, why? Because the little amount of money you make from your business will be able to be utilized and at the right way, in a way that you take the money small, but your expenses are not too huge that you can use the money to do a lot. Yeah, so we have to support our government NDC so that President Mahama, in addition to all of his ministers and CEOs, will transform this country to our promised land.
Thank you very much there, Bismarck.
I just want to ask
your microphone is off.
About the 24-hour economy, the president just launched the implementation of the 24-hour economy. He said 1st July is going to start with the port and Abo. And then my question here is that my senior brother works at Gapua, and then he's saying that if they are going to start this policy, he's pleading to the government if they should take their time and then make sure what they are doing the right thing. Because currently, as it stands now, there is a huge issue, or there's a lot of issues at the port that they need to take care of before they implement. They don't have street lights. The roads are not good. And then also the machines that they are using there are not enough. So if you are saying you are bringing all these things on board within 2 weeks, it will be a lot, because they cannot run 24-hour economy. Someone will go for night shift and then there's no street light.
So
the roads are not good. So government should make sure they do all these necessary things before they tackle the 24-hour economy. They shouldn't be in a haste, in a rush, because they are promising Ghanaians. So at all costs, you need to do it. No, make sure the right thing has been done.
That's fair.
Thank you.
That's fair. Thank you very much.
All right. So
Joseph.
Can I come in small?
No. Our time is up. We've eaten so much into the next program. So we'll reserve our comments, and the next time we're on the show, we'll probably put it all out there. Thank you very much to our listeners who made time to stick with us through thick and thin. We thank you. Tomorrow we'll be here with another delightful conversation on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. My name is Pakwesi Omare, and this is where I sign out.